It is a special afternoon here at CBC as the Cadets get set to take off Winton Woods. And what better way to start things off than a flyover with 5 Stearman biplanes led by lead pilot Rod Hightower, son of the CBC State Lacrosse champion Tim Hightower. So congratulations to the pilots on a wonderful flyover as they get us set for CBC versus Winton Woods. You are watching the Cadet Student Network. My name is Tom Eichwald. I'll be bringing you the game as the crowd watches those wonderful airplanes go by. We're going to step aside for a quick prayer. When we come back, we'll have football for you. You are watching CSN. Looks like it may have a few minutes before prayer, so it gives us a chance to pregame a little bit. And joining me alongside is Chris Maris. Chris, nice to have you with us.
Hey, how we doing today?
Doing great, ready for what should be a good game. You know, if you're watching and you're a Cadet fan, you kind of know what's been going on the last few weeks with the big DeSmet game. Didn't go as we had planned. Took it out on SLU a little bit. But let's give the fans a little bit of an idea what we can expect from this unique challenge in Winton Woods today.
Well, much the same as it was last year when you had St. John's from GC come in. You get a team that has great tradition and is one of the powers out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Ohio, a great football tradition state. Winton Woods, no exception. Being able to look at a team that looks to travel and take on all comers. Defeated traditional power Moeller a couple of weeks ago pretty handily. Now, Moeller seems like they might be a little down, but then last week competed very well with a large school, St. Ed's, and they look to be one of those teams that we can use as a measuring stick to see whether or not CBC is getting better with this young team and whether or not they're going to be ready to take on the task of the playoffs that are coming up shortly.
Both of these teams are coming in 4-1. There you see a little bit more video of that flyover with Rod Hightower and those 5 Stearman biplanes. Coach Maris mentioned the big win over Archbishop Moeller, a perennial power in the Cincinnati area. That was a win in Week 4, 34-0. They only gave up 32 rushing yards to Moeller in that game. And that was Week 4. Let's kind of go through that Winton Woods season. They started off against Trotwood Madison, 36-7 win. Week 2, they beat West Claremont 49-0. Week 3 beat Upper Arlington 30-7. So in weeks 1 through 4, they outscored their opponents handily, only gave up 14 points. Only 14 points scored against them in those first 4 weeks. Last week, putting up a good fight against a much bigger school in the St. Ed program, traditional power, another one of those powers in the Ohio State competition. 51-31 was your score. But even with that 51 they allowed, they still only average 13 points allowed on the season. So just a dominant defense from Winton Woods. And if you look on the offensive side of the ball, they have no shortage of weapons. It all starts with a genuine two-way threat in their quarterback, Michael Wingfield.
Yeah, they look to do a little bit different things. They'll spread you out and throw the ball a little bit, and then they'll come at you with a little bit of a midline veer option look, something we don't see a whole lot here in Missouri anymore. Something that's kind of gone the wayside. But that was one of the challenges that Coach Dimovitz talked about when we sat down was their multifaceted offense and the different things that they could do. And the opportunity that gives CBC to have a great challenge, regardless. Much the same as it was last year against St. John's. I think they've got a similar challenge here. Maybe not quite the caliber of opponent as St. John's was, but still nonetheless at 4-1, Winton Woods looks to be quite a small school power out of Cincinnati.
For you viewers, CBC fans that may not be familiar with Winton Woods, it's a co-ed school, about 800 students or so, between 800 and 900. So similar size to CBC, but they would actually be, the way they do the classifications in Missouri, if you were a single-gender school, then they would multiply your numbers. So CBC competing, in theory, against schools of about 1,700 on the co-ed schools. So it is a smaller school in Winton Woods, but a program that has no lack of talent. In fact, 3 of the top 20 preseason seniors in the Cincinnati area are on this team. You're going to see them today. Starts with running back Mayan Williams, number 28. We had heard rumors of an injury, but according to some sources before the game, he is dressed, and they are expecting him to play. So Mayan Williams last year had 2,824 rushing yards. He averaged, over an entire season, folks, including a playoff run, he averaged 11 yards per carry and 201 yards per game. He was the Cincinnati Area Player of the Year and Mr. Football Ohio runner-up, and he is almost the state leading rusher. We are hearing tell that Mayan Williams is 210 yards short of the all-time Ohio total yards record for running backs.
Well, he's an Ohio State recruit. It's a great challenge for CBC. They've had a little bit of a challenge stopping the run early on in this season. They kind of atoned for that last week against a pretty good SLU rushing attack. And, they're just looking to, find benchmarks in terms of looking ways to improve. I want to make sure that everybody's clear about this and how this works for CBC. They're looking to week number 10. They want to be at peak performance in week number 10, and this is just another test, quiz, whatever you want to call it along the way in terms of getting them ready and getting everything squared away so that when that quote-unquote final exam season starts up, they're ready to roll. And this is a great challenge for them today.
I believe they call it a formative assessment, Chris.
A formative assessment. There we go.
We mentioned the 3 players in the top 20 in the Cincinnati area coming into the season, 3 seniors, correction. Safety Myquan Grace, he is already committed to Rutgers. He had double-digit offers. He's in the top 100 defensive backs in the nation, we hear. He is number 4, and he'll be playing safety today for Winton Woods. And rounding it out, number 1 wide receiver Demir Blankumsey. He is already committed to Toledo, had a number of other offers as well. So some major D1 talent coming in as the Cadets will look to take them on. On the Cadet side, the story of the season really has been the emergence of Aiden Robinson-Wayne. He can throw it, he can run it. What's impressed you about Aiden Robinson-Wayne, Coach?
His poise as a sophomore, playing with a lot of young kids on this team. We saw it 3 years ago with Brett Gabbard, who had incredible poise in his sophomore year when he took the reins for CBC. And we're seeing it again with Aiden Robinson-Wayne with a little bit different wrinkle to it. His ability to run the ball and throw the ball has been quite something to see. The dual threat is something that teams legitimately have to prepare for.
And speaking of threats, one of the surprises of the season, I don't mean any disrespect when I say this is a surprise, but the big play threat that Jordan Clay has brought. On only 37 rushes, he's racked up 604 yards. I'll do the math for you. That is 16.4 yards per carry and 6 touchdowns. So a genuine big play running back in Jordan Clay that maybe we didn't see quite those numbers coming at the start of the season.
No, but I think the coaching staff and the people around the program knew that Jordan Clay was poised to break onto the season. I think he would have had a much bigger role as a sophomore last year if you weren't dealing with somebody like Brian Bradford as your primary running back and Ray Lingard as his kind of second fiddle. And the nice thing about Jordan's emergence, it's allowed Ray to play a little bit more of a pivotal role on defense, as this group of seniors, this 21 seniors, have done a great job, but they're not as plentiful as we've had in senior classes in the past. So the need for the young guys to step up and step into key roles is important, and that bodes well for them going forward. And Artie McAlpine, another junior who's done well, along with Ray and Jordan, makes up a pretty formidable backfield for CBC.
Now let's look on the defensive side of the ball. You have probably the closest, in terms of number of weapons, probably the closest challenge to this that CBC has seen was DeSmet. And we saw that the defense held its own through most of the game. Fourth quarter kind of got away from them. What are the keys for a defense going up against so many offensive threats and a dual threat quarterback?
Well, they're going to have to play within themselves and make sure that they don't get out of position. They've got to play their gaps. They've got to play their responsibilities and be ready to go.
And on the offensive side of the ball, it certainly hasn't been the start that was envisioned for the offensive line. Let's talk a little bit about the adversity that the offensive line has faced.
Well, they've had so many injuries over the course of this early season, and Brady Feeney's out again today. He's coming along. It looks like he's going to be back here in the next week or so. But Eric Zamuda going down in the first week of the season was a huge blow to them. A kid who's been waiting in the wings, waiting for his opportunity, and was ready to step up. Barely last a quarter, part of the first quarter before he went down. He looks to be coming back in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So I think the health of the team will come together, and the positive thing of that is they're going to have some guys that have gotten some playing time that are going to be ready to go if there's any more problems, if they have any other issues. So hopefully that bodes well for them. But they're getting better. They're getting stronger. Sam Wiebert stepped up in a big way for them, along with several other young guys.
Both teams are on the field. We are set. You're watching the Cadet Student Network. Stick around. We've got football coming. Welcome back to the booth. Tom Eichwald alongside Chris Maris getting set for CBC versus Winton Woods, the Warriors coming in from Ohio. We would like to send a special welcome to all the Winton Warriors fans who weren't able to make the trip. We hope you enjoy our broadcast. We will be as fair as possible. However, full disclosure, we are CBC alums, CBC employees. The broadcast is staffed by CBC students. Now, this is the a way that we keep our school community connected, and we are pleased to welcome you to our broadcast. We look forward to seeing the tradition and the football program that you are rightfully so proud of. So thanks for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. We're going to do today's prayer, so we'll step aside for just a moment. We'll be right back on CSN.
Pray for us.
There you have the prayer, read by the SLC Mission Chairman, Matthew Lewis. Hard to find a finer young man than that. And as he read the prayer, Tom Murray, our public address announcer, long-serving public address announcer, telling everybody who the officials are. We'll tell you as well. Referee is Travis Blankenship, umpire Ryan Dunn, linesman Sam Clayton, line judge Jeff Metcalf, and the back judge is Josh Fox. Both captains going out there. Let's talk a little bit about keys to this game, Chris. On the offensive side of the ball, what does CBC need to do to be successful against a very stingy Winton Woods defense?
I think they need to be able to find a way to establish the run, and like so many teams do to CBC, try to eat some clock, have some time of possession, mix in some play action pass, try to get Aiden Robinson-Wayne out on the perimeter where he can get that run option throw. And just try to keep Winton Woods off balance as best they can.
And on the defensive side for CBC?
They got to find a way to slow down that Winton Woods running game. Stopping a running back who's got 2,000 yards in his pocket already and is on his way to it again. A Cincinnati Player of the Year, that's no small potatoes considering Ohio is one of your nation's great football hotbeds. If they can find a way to slow him down, keep him under his season average, and minimize the big play damage from the quarterback, I think this could be a close game over the course of the whole thing, and hopefully CBC can go in the fourth quarter with an opportunity to pull out a win.
And conversely, I'm going to take a wild guess that you're going to say that the key on the offensive side for Winton Woods is to establish that running game early.
Well, yes, that, but I think also if they got any St. John's film from last year as a team coming out, St. John's was very deliberate, like, we are going to go after you, and we're going to go after you right now. And they went up top really quick, really big, and put CBC on their heels defensively. Once CBC kind of found their ways, CBC fell apart on special teams. So I think you're going to look to see a similar process there.
We are getting set for our broadcast today. We got a number of sponsors who make this broadcast and others like it possible. We'll be telling you about them throughout the game. Certainly want to thank Tim Kylo. Tim is more than just the best insurance guy in town. He's also the presenting sponsor of CSN, and we're incredibly grateful for his support. Call Tim at 314-842-4442 or send him an email, tim@timkylo, that's KILO.com. CBC is wearing those purple jerseys, gold helmets, white pants, and the Warriors from Winton Woods will be wearing white shirts with blue pants and blue helmets. And the atmosphere is ready for football here at W. Michael Ross 66 Stadium. You're watching the Cadet Student Network. Tom Eichwald and Chris Maris bringing you the game. We're the ones talking to you. Randy Gardner's the one making this all work. Got a number of students making the broadcast possible. I saw Timmy Fitzpatrick earlier. I see Braden Paulus running that field camera down there. Charlie Bryan's around. Probably one or two others that I haven't seen yet. Not sure who's actually filming up on top of the press box, but we'll get you those guys as soon as possible. They do a wonderful job of making these broadcasts work, and we're grateful for everything they do.
Well, we got a who's who of last year's team on the sideline here. Yeah, I see
pretty much the whole offensive line down there.
Josh Plore, Ben Stater, R.J. Gorsica. I'm sure the guys would like to have those guys back one more go around. And then if I'm looking at this right, it's hard to think. I think you got Julian Williams on the sideline.
It is Julian Williams down there as well.
So I think Missouri Western's been playing a lot of Friday night games. I'm not sure he might be redshirting this year. I've not had a chance to talk to Julian since he's gone away to school.
CBC will kick off. Tyler Charlton handling the kickoff duties today. 3 dangerous returners back for Winton Woods. And in the middle, number 1, Demir Blankumsey. He is a man to watch. Charlton's kick with a little wind at his back. We are underway. Returning this one, bobbling it, is number 25, Amani Steele. Steele up the middle, runs into a blocker. He's going to be hauled down inside his own 15. Good tackle made by CBC Special Teams. A player whose number is really stuck up under his pad, isn't it?
I think it's T.J. Williams.
T.J. Summers,
T.J. Summers. Pardon the slip-up. T.J. Summers. It almost looked like a 4 there, and looked like 24 might have been in the mix there as well.
That would be Jacob Tatum as well.
So our high-profile sophomores make up a lot of those special teams units. Jacob Tatum is in on a lot of different kickoff, punt, and special teams plays.
Well, there he is in the backfield. That is Mayan Williams behind Michael Wingfield. Handoff to Williams, right up the middle. Looks pretty healthy to me. Jukes out to the right. Big gain for Mayan Williams for the first play of the game. Flag comes in from the backside. And he is through with a first down and plenty.
Tyler Dixon on pursuit from his right outside linebacker spot, knocked him out of bounds.
Flag down,
though. 40. That's usually in a hole. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get a hold, so it's going to take them back. Now it'll be a spot foul, so that should take them back to about the 20-yard line. So they'll have a 1st and 4.
You can see why. You can see why Williams is so highly rated, though. I mean, you just look at the speed. Looked like he was wrapped up early. The power. I mean, he's the real deal after just one run. You can tell.
Well, the power is the thing that stands out to me as much as anything. I mean, he's a big boy back there, and he moves pretty well.
Williams to the right of Wingfield. 1 wide receiver left, 3 out on the right side. Whistle. We're counting men just to make sure CBC doesn't have 12. They don't.
Far side judge.
This time we're ready to go. Big cushion for these wide receivers. CBC showing blitz up the middle. Handoff to Williams. We get a flag. I wonder if that...
looks like we're going to get encroachment on CBC. No.
Oh, false start.
False start.
Somebody reacted.
When the side judge pointed to the CBC side of the field, so I thought maybe he was going to get CBC jumping off sides there. But
well, job done by Coach Dimovitz's blitz package. They saw him coming. Somebody must have flinched, seeing the pressure.
We'll take it. Back him up. 1st and about 8.
Clock running here in the first quarter at CBC. Winton Woods ball, first possession of the game. Handoff to Williams inside, cuts out around the right. And he's going to pick up about 3 or 4. And that'll bring up 2nd and short.
So they got to tighten down those gaps a little bit, get up and through there. Winton Woods is pretty big up front, but it's not their offensive line that was the most concern. It was their skill guys and their defensive line that was most discussed this week.
2nd and short. Michael Wingfield. He can throw it. And he can run it, but he's going to hand it off to Mayan Williams. Williams follows his right guard, and he'll pick up the first down, and then a few more. So about a 7-yard gain or so. Will move the chains.
Calvin Carey, after he looked like he went on a little bit of a blitz, peeled back and got in on the tackle there, but not before he got the first down. You know, and if they can make them eat this in small chunks like this, even if they go all the way down and score, I'll consider that a little bit of a win for CBC as they kind of evaluate the skill package here.
10:22 to go, 1st and 10. Handoff inside, steady dive to Williams. Flag comes in as he bounces around the right.
I think we're going to get another hold here.
He picked up 8, but that could come back. Flag in the backfield on a good run usually means one thing.
Chop block.
Oh, okay.
They're calling a chop block there, so illegal chop block. So you're on the offensive line. You're in the free blocking zone. You are allowed to cut, but you cannot cut left and right. You've got to be able to do it straight ahead, and you can't high-low anybody. You can't bring one guy up high and then come low, or start high and then go low. You got to commit one particular direction. So that might have been what happened there. It's hard to see from our vantage point exactly what the official saw.
Now it's about a 1st and, we'll say 20 or more. 1st and, 20 we'll go with. Throw it out to the left side. This is Murray. Murray almost brought down in the backfield, still on his feet. He shrugged off the tackle from Jordan Marshall.
And that doesn't happen very often. Jordan
No.
Marshall, extremely large safety, and Jordan wants that one back. It looks like maybe as he was tackling, his glove slipped off a little bit, and might be why he kind of ended up falling off of him. But, still your 2nd and 16, so first time that you've seen Winton Woods put the ball up.
CBC showing blitz off the right side. They're going to bring it. This is a handoff to Blankumsey around the right. He gets the edge, but he can't get back to the original line of scrimmage. He picks up 2 or 3. That should bring up about 3rd and 11, I think they're going to say.
So he stretched that out a little bit. CBC did. Brings up a 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12
we'll
there.
Go with 12
so
on that.
Nice situation here for CBC, whether they can hold and force a punt. Not something that I would think Winton Woods is very used to here.
Well, and in CBC, you've got a team who knows how to force turnovers. And you got Schonhorst with 3 interceptions, a smattering of guys with 1 or 2. So if you can force him to throw on 3rd and long, you'll like your chances. He gets hit, big hit by Jordan Marshall.
That's a monster play right there early for CBC.
You can see Wingfield took the hit as he threw, and then Murray just got pummeled by Marshall. He wasn't going to make a mistake twice, was he?
No, he wasn't. And, I still like to see him come through there and wrap it up with his body because these are some big boys. We don't want anybody pinballing off. We keep running. But nice tackle there by Jordan Marshall and good pressure by CBC. Very much ready for the rollout game from Winton Woods.
Brings up 4th and 7. Looks like they may be going for it here.
I still think this might be their unique punt formation. Looks like they're going to call timeout.
Oh, they're going to think about it for a few more minutes. That is Wingfield back there to do either the punting. One thing with out-of-state competition is, we're kind of spoiled in the St. Louis area. If you're broadcasting high school sports, your first stop is usually that STL Today High School Sports. You get the full stat breakdown on the season. Don't have that for out-of-area teams, so we don't have the stats report, don't know who's done the punting, don't know a whole lot about that, so it would be a learning experience for us.
Now, one thing that might not be familiar with a lot of people in St. Louis, there are a number of schools around the country that pretty much forego the kicking game. They'll go for 2 every time. They'll go for it, 4th and whatever from their own end. There is a school of thinking that says that is a long-term, over the course of a game, a better move than the concept of punting. But I'm actually not sure whether that's something Winton Woods does. I did a little bit of homework on them, but I didn't get into the special teams very much. So we'll see. That was an empty backfield look if they were going to punt the ball, which is a little bit unique. This does set itself up for a rugby-style punt situation, and I got to imagine if they're sticking somebody deep, they think they're going to punt here. I'm going to guess
Wingfield's taking a few steps back from where he originally was.
He's pretty far back. I think they're going to probably rugby it to the right here.
But he can throw and run, so it gives you a lot of options out of that punt formation. Could be right for a fake later in the game. Snap over his head. Wingfield backtracking, falls on it. And that will be a 1st and goal for CBC at the 6.
Much similar to a couple of weeks ago against DeSmet when CBC kind of faltered on their first drive and had a bad snap that ultimately gave the ball to DeSmet. 1st and goal from the inside the 5-yard line. CBC's going to benefit from this. This will be a great opportunity for the offense to punch one in early. And it looks like CBC's going with a tight end set here and the pistol.
They are. It's Aiden Robinson weighing out there.
Well, it's a trips look, but Teidert's more of a tight end. So
one back behind him. It's a handoff underneath. Hauled down in the backfield is number 11, Ray Lingard.
Yeah, he lost a couple of yards on that, and I think they're going to have a hard time running right at this very big athletic line
just
of
look
Winton
across
Woods.
that line. We got weights on here, and those are some big boys down there. Look at the middle of that line, nose guard and the guards on either side. Handoff to, no, it's a keeper. Robinson weighing around the right. Can he get the edge? Ball comes out before he crosses it. It'll still be a nice gain. He'll get down to about the 1 or 2. They're going to spot it at the 1. They're
going to spot him at the 1. The only thing I don't like about that, he's going for the end zone, sticking the ball out there. If that ball fumbles through the end zone in any way, shape, or form, it's a touchback for Winton Woods.
Much to the crowd's joy, that fumble was recovered by James Moats on the sideline.
What do we got here? They blew it dead. We got a flag.
Flag on the field. They're going to back they're going to back Winton Woods up.
Well, CBC's going extremely up-tempo on this. I mean, they're jumping up, and Winton Woods is not set before CBC is ready to go. So I think they jumped up on the line of scrimmage and snapped the ball before Winton Woods was onside.
So they went half the distance, so it's about 10, 12 inches from the goal line is where they're going to snap this. Now we got another flag down. Let me see, the lined up in the neutral zone maybe, or?
I don't know, but,
came in from that far side. Here's the signal. Dead ball foul. Encroachment on the defense, so now it'll be about 5 inches from the goal line.
Here's the only thing I'll say. You're in a turf field where you got good lineage. It's not like the old school where you were lying in a grass field and sometimes those lines were a little curvy and you didn't know where you were. It's not hard to get lined up properly out there.
Here we go. 3rd and goal from inside the 1. Handoff underneath. It's Lingard who's in. Touchdown, CBC.
Nice start for CBC.
So Lingard gets a touchdown on I think technically that wouldn't even count as a 1-yard run.
Well,
maybe.
technically
it's about a 5-inch run.
It is, but it goes down as a 1-yard run.
So Lingard runs it in for the first score of the game. Josh Kasich will come on to attempt the extra point. CBC scores with 7:50 remaining in the first quarter. 6-0, trying to make it 7. More whistles. We got making sure all the knee pads are down over the joints.
They're running 2 guys off.
Because their knee pads aren't low enough. Is that what they're saying?
That and the other thing is,
not sure exactly.
I think they're making them anytime they go out with the they've got that equipment. They're making them go off the field for whatever reason. This is a major point of emphasis for MSHA officials this year is the covering of the knees.
Well, here we are. Low snap. Kasich's kick is up. And it's good. CBC leads 7-0 here in the first quarter.
I understand where MSHA's coming from with that as a point of emphasis. My only thing is, as a coach on the lower levels, sometimes we're so worried about making sure those little details are getting squared away that we're losing sight of bigger safety issues that happen on the field. So it's something that's a little frustrating to the coaches because the way these pants are designed, that they tend to ride up a little bit on their knees a little bit as we go along. So we'll see how that ultimately works out. CBC back on special teams here to kick the ball off after getting that fortuitous snap and getting the ball on the 5-yard line.
Mentioned some of the sponsors. We mentioned Tim Kylo, one of our biggest friends and sponsors, CBC Admissions Department. If you know a grade school student who might want to be a future cadet, please encourage him to pay us a visit and experience CBC for himself. You can go to the cbchs.org/experience CBC. Here's the kick. Blankhamsey is going to haul this in with those bright neon shoes. They can fly. He's around the left side. He'll be brought down after a return that gets him to about the 38-yard line.
Boy, that return looked like it was going to be a lot better than it ended up being. It's still not a bad return, getting out just shy of the 40-yard line. There looked to be a seam there early that closed up. Don't want to kick it to that kid in the middle much too often there. That's the reason he's there, is to send that one to the house, and thankfully he didn't do that.
I think that was Nate Kidd who got in there and put a good tackle on. Number 38, if I'm seeing that correctly.
Yes, sir. Another sophomore who spends a lot of time working specials for CBC.
Michael Wingfield hands it off to Williams. Williams right up the middle. He'll pick up about 3. We'll pick up 2, they say. Second and 8.
He just put his head down and was going to bowl his way up through there. CBC managed to get enough bodies in the way and take him down.
But a tough guy to defend because he can do that, but he can also bounce it around the edge. And if you're chasing him to that sideline, he's got enough power that stiff arm's effective as you're not moving directly at him. Hand off to Williams. There he is, bouncing around the right, cuts inside, being chased down from the backside by Lingard. Is he going to get him? He does. What a tackle by Ray Lingard, but a great run around the right side by Mayan Williams.
That's why he's a big recruit. Boy, that was a pretty special run there by him, and I didn't think Ray was going to get him there for a second.
What a tackle by Lingard. Fights off the stiff arm, but grabs enough of the shirt to be able to haul him down. Brings up 1st and 10. The ball is on the CBC 19-yard line. Wingfield in the shotgun. Williams to his right. It is Williams around the left. He's going to be brought down. First contact was made there by Calvin Carey. And then he's hauled down about a yard past that, gain of 1.
So CBC got another little stop there. So here's the thing. When they've been able to get in their position and be in a good place, they've been able to slow him down. But when they don't get where they need to be and they give them leverage, they're going to be a handful. You've seen that on a handful of plays so far.
Wingfield under center this time. Williams behind him. Blankensee in motion. It's a flip to the right. This is Blankensee around the right. He's going to pick up about 3. It'll bring up 3rd and, what do they say, 5? We'll go 5.5.
So with all the razzle-dazzle that happens there, CBC did a nice job to stretch that out, only give up a couple of yards. You don't run a play like that to gain 2 yards. You run a play like that to score touchdowns. But I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to have a counter or something that's going to come off of that same look that's going to try to put CBC in a bad position.
Similar formation, same formation, it looks like. Wingfield under center. This time motion from the right side. Keeper. As Wingfield gets close to the first down, I think they're going to give it to him. It'll be 1st and goal.
But that's that option look. That's that veer, that midline veer look that they run at you, where they ultimately brought the running back up in there. They had 3 guys tackling him. He didn't have the ball. Quarterback popped up there and gets a first down out of it.
Well, and crucially, it was the same formation as the end around by Blankensee. So you run the same formation. You see a couple of different of the options that they can run. Inside of 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Handoff underneath. Williams, he's pulling a pile. He will not get there. He's in the backfield, forward motion stopped.
So he's going to get about 4. Looks like he's going to get about 4. You saw Mike West, number 23, coming in and batting that ball around a little bit. As you see, number 75, Tyler Gant, come in their goal line package. The freshman. This looks like Sam Wiebert might have gotten banged up a little bit, and they need him to be healthy because he's been helping a lot on the offensive line.
That brings up 2nd and goal. This ball is just outside the 5-yard line. It's Williams in the backfield. Also in the backfield is Jamonte Murray. Blankensee wide right. This time it's a handoff to Williams underneath. He gets all the way down to the 1 before he's brought down. It'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line.
CBC had a well-timed blitz right there. Ray Lingard got through, couldn't get the running back squared up, and they got down. They got a couple on that, not as many as it looked like at first in terms of when he fell forward, but we'll take it.
2 instead of the 1. Clock below 5 minutes here in the first quarter. Tom Eichwald and Chris Maris bringing you football on the Cadet Student Network. Winton Woods from Ohio driving here and then driving to the goal. Motion, there's a lot of movement. Something didn't look right there. We're going to get a flag.
CBC signaling for a motion, and Winton Woods was kind of like, Winton motion stopped, came back. Another guy moved, so they had a hot mess going on right there on that play.
Yeah, false start. Undoes a lot of hard running by Williams.
I still think from 3rd down they like their chances here. I think they'll probably look as they make a personnel change here. CBC makes one as well. Winton Woods brings their jumbo guys out. We bring our regular defense back in. Or maybe vice versa. I'm not sure.
There's some big
Something
bodies in
there
for Winton Woods.
Oh, so looks like they brought their heavy package in.
Yeah, the tailback right now is number 90, who's not listed on our roster.
It's a Wildcat.
Direct to Williams, around the right, one-on-one, cuts inside, touchdown, Winton Woods. They divert attention to the big man lined up as the tailback, and then they go to a direct snap.
Well, they do, and, you had Artie McAlpine one-on-one with him out there, and you just can't expect these guys to bring him down one-on-one. You've got to get multiple hats to football, and Artie was trying to square him up and string him out a little bit to get more help, and it just wasn't coming.
So just like that, it's 7-6. Extra point attempt is coming from Ramel Velasquez, the senior kicker. And this kid has a leg, let me tell you. Caught a little bit of some action on YouTube, and this kid can absolutely bomb the football. I mean, you're looking at a big-time college leg here is essentially what you're seeing. Absolutely nailed about a 40-yard attempt against St. Ed.
Oh, really? I didn't see that. That's pretty impressive.
So just like that, 7-7 on a touchdown run, direct snap to Mayan Williams.
Nice Nice razzle-dazzle that they have there down on the goal line in order to even this game up. And CBC showed some good things defensively. I think the big thing is they've got to minimize those big runs. If they can do that, we'll be in good shape. So we're going to be in a regular CBC offensive look here hopefully after this kickoff, and we're going to have an idea what we can do against this vaunted Winton Woods defense in a regular sort of scenario, not down on the goal line.
I was about to say first regular-ish possession for CBC. Two guys back to return. That is Kenneth Hamilton and Dakota Mayo.
Dakota Mayo's a freshman.
Here comes the kick from Velasquez. That's going to be fielded at the 5-yard line. It is Hamilton. He's through one. That's Mayo. Correction.
Freshman Mayo up to the 35 or so.
So that is about a 30-yard return as Mayo fields it. And a nice return from the freshman Dakota Mayo. CBC will take over. They spot this officially at the 39-yard line.
So one of the things CBC does so well in terms of getting their kids ready to play as regulars on the varsity is they put them on these special teams as freshmen and sophomores in order to kind of understand and feel the speed of the game. And then when it's their turn to play, they're ready to go.
Robinson Wayne in the shotgun. Throws it out to the right side. Zach Hahn, team leading receiver, lowers his shoulder, and he's going to be brought down on the sideline.
Got about 4.
Yeah, I'll bring up 2nd and 6. Hahn does come in the leading receiver, 24 receptions on the season. He's got 4 touchdowns.
One of the most physical receivers we have as well.
Probably could play tight end a few places, too. Fakes the handoff to Clay across the middle, intercepted. It's picked off by Cameron Sanders running around to the right on the return. Sanders cuts inside, back out wide, and he's going to be driven out of bounds. A big interception from Cameron Sanders as he read Aiden Robinson Wayne's eyes and made the perfect jump on the ball.
They ran a seam route, and they were looking to go to the inside receiver right down the seam there, and the linebacker didn't really get much of a drop, but he went up and got that ball as it came off of Wayne's hands. He was trying to float it over him and underestimated the linebacker's ability to go up and get that ball.
So that's CBC's about 4th play from scrimmage, and Robinson Wayne throws a pick.
It's only his 2nd or 3rd interception on the year.
That is his 2nd interception.
So he's been pretty efficient and pretty trustworthy with the ball so far. We'll see whether CBC's defense can hold Winton Woods out of the end zone.
His completion percentage just under 65% coming into this game. Wingfield. He's going long. Do they have a touchdown? What a catch that is. Very impressive catch and staying in bounds. That looks like number 81, a player not listed on our roster, of course.
Go figure. Sean Harst had pretty good coverage over there and needed to get his head around a little bit sooner. Otherwise, he would have had a chance to pick that off. But, you're taught to read that receiver when you're playing in that man cover look that looked like Sean Harst was in, and that gives Winton Woods a lead right there. Hopefully CBC can rebound a little bit as they're having some personnel issues on the kick block team.
Velasquez on to attempt the extra point, trying to make it 14-7. And we do not have a name on number 81. He is not on any of our rosters. Could be somebody wearing a different number today. Jersey tour and warm-ups for all we know, but we cannot bring you a name on that. We apologize. But you are watching the Cadet Student Network as the Cadets trail 14-7.
You're seeing the explosive play, the explosive athletic. The explosive playability of Winton Woods right there with a big linebacker interception and then ultimately a deep ball there. There's some discussion on whether or not that's number 81 or whether that's number 01, but as he comes out on the field here for the kickoff return, that's very obviously 81.
Yeah, and he's over here on the near side getting some time on special teams too. We just, I had to step aside to check with Tom Murray, public address, to see if he knew something we didn't, and he does not. Velasquez kickoff. Last one is fielded about the 5. This one will be fielded at the 6. It's Mayo again. Trying to bounce it out to the left, cuts back inside. Mayo still going, shrugs another one off. Williams, Blankhamsey comes in from the backside, Nice job by Mayo to hold on to that ball, but a good return gets CBC all the way out to the 42-yard line.
So any Winton Woods fans out there watching, if you want to tweet me at CMerris90, CMERRIS90, if you know who number 81 is, we'll get it on our roster, make sure we get it right for the rest of the game.
Bold strategy, inviting listeners to tweet at you.
That's all right.
We do want to welcome our viewers from Winton Woods. If you didn't make the trip, we hope you're enjoying the broadcast, and we hope it's as wonderful there as it is here with the weather.
Jordan Clay's first carry of the game.
Yep,
there.
not going anywhere. Well, he's got about 3. That'll bring up 2nd and 7. 3 minutes and 3 seconds and counting remaining in this first quarter.
Oh.
So we have a correction for you. Number 81, there was a switch number. Deshaun Clifton, number 81. He's normally number 22 on the roster. Robinson Wayne drops back, fires across the middle. He's got Hahn, who shakes off a tackler. First down, Cadets.
That previous play, you saw a ball knocked out of Brinson's hands. Doesn't happen very often when Karate Brinson gets the ball. He usually squeezes it pretty good, but nonetheless, CBC's got a first down. They're doing all right here. Looking to go up tempo some more. Confusion on the formation here.
3rd and 8. Robinson Wayne fakes the run, throws across the middle, just overthrows Hahn. Touchdown if he catches it.
Good little play there on first down. CBC trying to go up tempo. I think a little bit of the confusion on the formation may have cost them the ability to do a little better on that particular play.
I think it's going to be a good battle between the number 4, Zach Hahn for CBC, Myquan Grace for Winton Woods. He's the safety normally. This time he switches over. He's going to pick up Brinson. They saw something in the setup. Robinson Wayne keeps it around the right side. He's got the line of scrimmage, and he's almost got the first down. They don't give it to him. He's going to be about 2 short.
But that's the electric nature that Robinson Wayne brings to this, and it's a new wrinkle for CBC having a guy who can run quite like that.
They go almost no time between plays. Lingard takes a big hit. We've got a flag down right about at the spot of the tackle.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a hold.
But just lightning quick between plays for CBC. It is a hold. It'll back up the Cadets with 2:06 remaining in the first quarter. Mentioned the weather, just a beautiful afternoon. In the 70s, little breeze blowing from left to right across your screen, so it's at CBC's back at the moment. But finally starting to feel like fall football weather. We're almost there. Still wearing short sleeves.
Well, this morning I wasn't. I was in a hoodie at a baseball game, and I was freezing my rear end off. Thankfully, it warmed up a little bit.
Oh, it's getting to be about time to dust the jackets off, Coach. Clock ticks at 2 minutes. Robinson Wayne drops back, rolling to his right. He's going to throw on the run, sets his feet. Let's fly. Oh, what a play on the ball. What a play on the ball there. As Tyler Dixon was wide open, number 5, Caleb Tubbs, got in there and disrupted it. Great throw. Myquan Grace is struggling. That's not good news.
So one of the Winton Woods players is down. I think the only thing I could see, and I'm nitpicking here, folks, wish Tyler would have maybe worked his way back to that ball a little bit while it was in the air, just to make sure he was clearing anybody who might have been coming up behind him. But when you're scrambling like that, you're supposed to keep working your way, to the side, the quarterback scrambling and back to him a little bit. There's always one guy streaking, and we had everything squared away there and just couldn't quite squeeze it. That's twice now we've had balls knocked away from us that were in our hands.
The player injured is Myquan Grace, number 4. Mention how highly rated he is. Verbally committed to Rutgers University, so a phenomenal talent as a senior. And you hope he is okay. Both training staffs out there seeing to him.
Thank you to the folks on Twitter who replied to me about number 81. We've got that taken care of.
Deshaun Clifton with that touchdown catch. 1:52 remaining on the clock as the trainers continue to see to grace. We do want to mention, you see our athletic trainer out there, Kristen Jeans. She's with Mercy Healthcare. And we want to say thanks to the folks at Mercy Sports Medicine. They take great care of our student athletes. They are a top-tier Catholic health system nationally. They offer the highest quality health care for students and families. To learn more, visit www.mercy.net. And he went down in a hurry, so you certainly hope this is not as bad as it initially looked. The helmet's off, though. That's never a good sign.
It's hard to see what they're working on from that point of view. We got some things in the way, along with a doctor and coaches and trainers. So,
but let's talk a little bit about the game we've seen, Coach. You know, we knew that Mayan Williams was going to be a threat. We knew that Michael Wingfield. Good to see him on his feet.
It's not
Mikewan Grace barely putting weight, but he is. No, he's not putting any weight on that right leg.
No, he's not. And I thought they were headed to our sideline, which would have been a bad sign, but he's not putting any weight on that foot. They really need to get a couple of other people over here to get him up and off the field, and hopefully it doesn't have any long-term injury here.
So that's Mikewan Grace. Going back to the question, Chris, your thoughts on the game so far. We knew that Winton Woods was going to bring in a lot of talent on the offensive side. What have you seen so far in this game?
Well, they've used that talent pretty effectively to get 2 touchdowns and big plays. And their defense has been very, very solid to start with. Those CBCs, capitalized on some things, but not on enough. And it looks like CBC is going to punt the ball here. But fairly balanced game. You just, CBC needs to not miss on the opportunities they've had so far.
1:52 on the clock. Johnny Honig on to do the punting. Sporting those pink socks, white soccer shoes. Good snap. Gets it away with the left foot. Got a big kick. Fair catch called by Blankensee. And the Warriors will take over at their own 11-yard line. A couple of long fields for him on possessions.
Yeah, this, hopefully CBC's got the ability to slow them down here. They're pinned deep, and hopefully CBC can use that to their advantage and force a mistake and a chain turnover on downs at the very least. Getting Tyler Gant, the freshman, getting some regular action time, not on goal line, and that size that Gant brings to the table is important when you're playing a very large physical team like Winton Woods.
Michael Wingfield will operate out of the shotgun. He'll have Mayan Williams to his left. Blankensee out wide right. Receiver in the slot on the right side, one on the left side. Handoff underneath to Williams. Goes inside, right up the middle, shakes through a few. He's finally brought down by George Cooper, but he's going to pick up about 6.
One of the things I noticed from the Winton Woods offensive line is their strategy is pretty much to cut our defensive tackles down, anybody on the line of scrimmage down, not really trying to drive block them out of the way, and looking for Williams to cut inside of there and break tackles through the linebackers.
Clock at 1:12 remaining in this first quarter. Defensive line shifts left. Wingfield under center. Another handoff to Williams, cuts back inside. He's going to be brought down just short of the first down marker, it looks like. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
See Patrick Heidert warming up on the sideline. He usually gets a series or 2 at quarterback as a second sophomore quarterback.
Yeah, Heidert's 8 for 11 on the season. 152 yards, a touchdown.
Big
quarterback
catch,
rating of 152.
Big catch last week, though, as a tight end against St. Louis U High. They went double tight with him and Dylan Warnberg, and he got a big 40-yard reception. I thought he was going to break a couple of tackles and get in the end zone, but didn't quite make it.
Injury timeout. This time it is a CBC player who is down receiving treatment. That injury a few moments ago to Mikewan Grace. And then this one is Tyler Dixon, who's back up. Looks like he's moving okay, which is good to see.
A little shaken up on that play. Looks like they're working on Mikewan Grace over on the sideline on their bench. So that does not look good with where they're at over there working on him.
They hope to see him back out there. Anytime you got this much talent on the field, you want to see them all out there just to see what happens. And certainly hope that the young man is feeling better soon. 51.8 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Wingfield has Williams to his left. 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left side. He's going to throw left, one-on-one. He's got the matchup he wanted. Intercepted picked off by Cameron Powell as he was looking to connect with Bryant Johnson Jr. Just a slight mistake on the throw, and it is Powell who comes down with the football.
Well, they went kind of a single receiver play action set. I think they had everybody sold out on the run. They ran one guy down the sideline on that play. Cameron Powell was not fooled on that, and then the throw went a little long. Powell was able to drift off the receiver and really was uncontested catching that ball. That's a great turn of events for CBC here with just under 40 seconds left.
They're going to take over at the 49-yard line of Winton Woods. It is Heidert out there. Handoff underneath. That's Jordan Clay, who's hauled down after a 1-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 9, but I do not think we will see another play run in this first quarter.
It's hard
They might run one.
CBC is so quick, but they're having trouble getting their personnel. Not trouble, I should say. They're just a little slow for them getting their personnel set up.
So a new look offensive package out there. Heidert's going to take the snap. He's going to keep it himself, goes around the right side. He's going to pick up a few. The Warriors are clamoring for the ball. It's out, but it looked like he was down. The referee is pointing to the turf, so he was down. That'll be it for the first quarter. It will end 14-7 in favor of the visiting Warriors. We get a quick break here to talk about what we've seen. You mentioned the offensive power of Winton Woods. We've seen that on full display. What have you seen from CBC, and what do you need to see more of, Chris?
I need to see them open up a few more holes there so that we can run the ball a little bit. And we, other than a couple of runs by Aiden Robinson-Wayne, that one there by Heidert, we've not been able to get a whole lot going with the running game. And I know it's going to be a challenge, but you got to find a way to be able to grind out 3 or 4 yards at a time and do what you can do. You're not going to get a lot of big plays running the ball against this Winton Woods defense, but you got to be able to keep them honest with it. If you can keep them honest and know that they just can't, roll over on that, then it could set up the passing game a little bit, whether it's the quick screen game or whether it's ability to play action and go downfield a little bit.
Just to give you an idea of how we got here to 14-7, first possession of the game, Winton Woods snapped it over the punter's head. CBC took it over at the 6, and Lingard ran it in. That was with 7:50 to go. And then a touchdown for Winton Woods as Williams ran it in from about 7 yards. Extra point with 4:21 to go. Then Winton Woods picked off a pass from Aiden Robinson-Wayne. It was Cameron Sanders with the interception on the second play of CBC's ensuing drive. They scored on their first play, a pass to Clifton. Myquan Grace went down with an injury, and then CBC picks one off right at the end of the quarter, 14-7 as we start the second. It's the condensed highlights. And the official's going to come in.
He had to move the ball about 3 inches.
Yep. Free 3 inches for CBC. And then the center picks it up, and it goes right back to where it was. Heidert drops back, takes a big hit, but does he find Zach Hahn? He does.
Nice.
They
nice
say it's
job.
a catch.
Hans cradled that ball as he went down, and maybe a replay would show that he didn't, but it looked very close to getting that ball cradled underneath. Hans, a pretty darn good possession receiver.
Heidert, they snapped the ball. Winton Woods did not get the substitutions on. They had about 14 guys on the field.
But that's a strategy right now that you're seeing from CBC, trying to go super up-tempo with what they're trying to do, kind of force Winton Woods' substitution, minimize their substitutions, and get some free yards, quite honestly.
11:48 on the clock. Also a big, great catch by Hahn, but a great confidence boost for Heidert as he takes a monster hit, still completes the pass. That's got physically probably doesn't feel good, but it's got to be a boost to him.
He can worry about that tomorrow. Oh, right guard for CBC.
Yep, they are going to get number 56, Grant Carter, with the false start. That'll back him up. That'll be
a shame you're playing the backward and forward game there.
After all that, it's 1st and 10. Makes the math easy, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Oh.
Yeah, misfire from Heidert. It's too low for Chevy Brenson.
Coach Pingle's not going to be very happy about that ball being down on the ground. Really no reason for it that I saw. Maybe I missed something. But
yeah, maybe just a little tension, a little panic from Heidert as he was looking to get it away, pulled it down in the turf.
Had a little bit of a strange arm slot when he threw that ball. I don't know if there was somebody coming through in his path or not.
2nd and 10. Heidert takes the snap. Around the left, takes another hit. Brenson goes up and hauls it down. First down, Cadets.
Nice
Patrick
play.
Heidert throwing it to great effect here.
Great play right there by Patrick Heidert going downfield to Chevy Brenson. Nice, easy ball for Brenson to go up and get for a guy of his skill set.
Another quick set by CBC. Heidert rolls to his right. He's got Hahn ahead of him. He's going to keep it, though. He'll pick up about 5 before he goes out of bounds. It'll bring up second and short.
Little cowboy play right there where they do the little sprint out, bootleg look for CBC there, and that quarterback definitely has a pass run option in that particular situation, and you'll take the 4 yards there.
Second and about 6. Heidert throwing to his left. Zach Hahn open. Touchdown, CBC.
Nice catch and read there by Patrick Heidert. Similar type of play that got picked off by Aiden Robinson-Wayne. This time Heidert was able to thread it through the defense and get it to Hahn going down the seam there for a touchdown to CBC that looks like it'll even this game up early in the second quarter. We'll see how the kick goes here.
Josh Kasich on to tie it up. Add 1 to the 6 picked up by Zach Hahn on a pass from Patrick Heidert. Mentioned that Patrick Heidert's numbers so far, 75% completion percentage, as that one's good, 14-14. Heidert, in case you're wondering, just a sophomore. Aiden Robinson-Wayne, just a sophomore. Nice to have 2 options, isn't it?
Well, it really is. I mean, they both, and a lot of people weren't around, and I was only peripherally around to watch this quarterback battle as it ensued throughout the summer. And it was nip-tuck all the way up to the first week, and Coach Fingal did not announce his starter until very, very late, almost on Friday of game day. And, he felt like he could have gone either direction with either one of these kids. And he's showing some faith in Heidert by giving him a series or a couple of series a game, and able to utilize him in some other situations. What'll be interesting is if Heidert continues to have success and Aiden Robinson-Wayne continues to have success, whether he finds other things for Aiden Robinson-Wayne to do within the offense, like Heidert is in terms of playing tight end and wingback for CBC, whether Aiden Robinson-Wayne factors in.
Charlton's kickoff is high, and will that get out of bounds?
Yes, sir.
No, it bounces in. Oh, it does bounce out.
That first
Thought it was going to just check in.
Well, and I think that was designed, try to get it to bounce right there and kick back in. You got some guys that can control the ball, but he got just a little too much on it.
Yeah, so Winton Woods will take over at the 35-yard line with 11:04 remaining in this second quarter.
Oh, they're going to make them re-kick. And that's one of the things that's their option. And we do this a lot on the lower level. If they're intentionally trying to directionally kick, they're obviously scared of the return. And so make them re-kick. You think you got a chance to get some decent yards out of it and see how that ultimately works out.
All right, so rescinded. They won't take over on the 35. Unless they return this out to the 35, in which case.
Well, if they kick it out of bounds again, it goes to the 40, but they can still make you re-kick again.
Another high kick. This one a little more central. It's going to be fielded by Murray. Jamonte Murray to his left, through a gap, cutting back out to the right before he's wrapped up. Still pushing a few yards, still moving forward. He's wrapped up by Jacob Tatum. We've got a late flag coming in as that ball is down at the CBC 46-yard line, 47 maybe.
Well, I'm wondering what that is. I didn't see anything, but that's why those guys get paid the big bucks.
Anytime you get a pile like that.
Could be a face mask. Could be somebody piling in late on either side here. Looks like they're going to mark it off against CBC.
Personal foul against CBC.
No, they pointed to Winton Woods in that situation.
Winton Woods, sorry.
All right.
Now, the hand up, that was called a dead ball foul, correct? So
yes.
It must have been just after the whistle because the flag came in right about with the whistle.
Yes. The play was called dead, and somebody did something after the play that they weren't supposed to do.
So it goes against Winton Woods, who, despite my confusion a moment ago, is wearing white. They're going left to right across your screen. CBC in the purple. They are defending the right half of your screen. 10:50 remaining in the second quarter. You're watching the Cadet Student Network. 1st and 10 for the Warriors. CBC showing blitz. They're going to hand it off underneath to Williams. Good tackle made by number 12, C.J. Liddell.
That's a good stop there on a big running back. The one thing they got to be careful of, and I think they've got Mike West and Tyler Dixon marked on him, but the quarterback coming out the backside on a read to see whether or not we're chasing too hard.
Well, and also having those linebackers up, he can throw it too, so that does open up some pockets for those sort of slant routes. West is going to come in off the left side. Another handoff to Williams. He's going to be brought down, wrapped up by number
Calvin
34,
Carey.
Calvin Carey.
You saw Charlie Kilby underneath a little bit of a pile. You saw C.J. Liddell come running up there. I think it was him late. Big third down play right here for CBC. Can they get a stop out of this?
And it is 3rd and 6. Ball is on the Winton Woods zone 48-yard line. Handoff to Williams. He's not going to get it. It'll force fourth and short.
Well, and this is a situation where I think Winton Woods is going to line up and go for it.
I think you have to.
Well, and I think before the play ever started, I think that was their intention. We're going to run the ball twice here, and we're going to. Well, they're making a substitution, so they're even going heavy or.
Keep in mind, though, that based on last time.
Yeah, they're going jumbo Wildcat here.
Timeout taken by
CBC's
CBC.
taking a timeout. I think this is a good call here for CBC. Get yourself lined up. If they want to go Wildcat in this situation, they scored a touchdown on this. You know, hopefully the worst thing that could come out of this is a first down, but you want to make sure that you're lined up and ready to go. This is a nice pivotal point early in this first half.
It is. They were showing the direct snap to Mayan Williams, who, again, this is unofficial, but we were told needed 210 yards in this game to become the all-time leading career rusher in terms of total yards, not just in school history, he's already got that, but in Ohio State high school football history. Think of some of the running backs that have come out of Ohio.
Well, and just a state with great football tradition like Ohio, I mean, that's pretty impressive. Even if we're not completely accurate with that number, if he's even within striking distance of that number this year, pretty amazing.
Well, officially, going into last week's game, he needed 363 yards, I believe was the number that he needed last week. Did not get that. I think he needed, this is, again, hearsay before this one, approximately 210. If we can get a number at halftime, we will try to, but we're sorry our stats operation is not ESPN worthy. 9:22 to go, 4th and short. They're in the Wildcat. Williams around the right. He's going to get the first down, still going. Mayan Williams shakes off one, can't shake off the second. He's finally brought down by Tyler Dixon. But a big gain off the direct snap to Mayan Williams.
Well, the near perimeter defender for CBC just got too heavily engaged with the lineman for Winton Woods and ultimately gave them the edge. It's 2 times in a row they've looked to go around that right edge there, and I don't think it's designed to necessarily go wide as much as it is to press the line of scrimmage and find something.
9 minutes, 3 seconds and counting. Michael Wingfield, blitz right in his face. Handoff to Williams. He's going to pick up about 2 or 3. Seems like it's almost 2 or 3 guaranteed yards anytime he gets the ball.
Yeah, and I got a feeling I could see Winton Woods, if we continue to give them any trouble on their offensive set, that they could foreseeably go to that Wildcat set for a series to just punish CBC with the ball.
Another hand. Nope, keeps it. This is Wingfield around the left. He faked the handoff, kept it, touchdown run. That is 14 yards from Michael Wingfield.
Now, I'm not exactly sure what Coach Dimovitz has schemed up in terms of their option or read option responsibilities on the quarterback on that. So I don't want to point fingers, but Tyler Dixon went hard crashing down to try to get to Williams. And as soon as he saw that Dixon was crashing down, Winfield pulled the ball and was out the back door, and there was nobody coming down on him hard enough.
Coach Dimovitz talking to Jordan Marshall and Ray Lingard over here on the near side. Velasquez comes on for the extra point. No doubt about that one. Only doubt is whether it's going to clear that fence.
He's been pretty solid on these extra points to start with. You know, interestingly enough, though, he hasn't been driving the ball, at least to start with. He wasn't driving the ball into the end zone. Now, he was kicking in a little bit of a breeze, but on the kickoffs, they weren't as impressive as I was expecting under the consideration of his PATs.
Clock at 8 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in this second quarter. We're glad to have you with us on the Cadet Student Network. My name is Tom Eichwald. That is Coach Chris Maris, one of CBC's freshman football coaches. He is standing to my right. He's providing the analysis. Randy Gardner, seated to my left, is doing all the production, switching back and forth between all the cameras that are being manned by real live CBC students. We got Braden Paulus down there in the field chatting with James Motes, official meteorologist. And then we have Charlie Bryan. I've seen him. I've seen Timmy Fitzpatrick. So a number of the young men making this broadcast possible. Want to thank them for all their time and efforts.
So we'll see whether CBC can answer there.
Velasquez on to boot it away. This time he's got a slight wind at his back. They go pooch. Fair catch called for by Hahn. And CBC will take over at their own 31.
So we'll see whether CBC can get something rolling here offensively with about 8.5 minutes left in the quarter.
And a pat on the back from Coach Wayner of the special teams coaching to Dakota Mayo, who is frustrated walking off the field. He likes the way things are going. He wants more returns.
Well,
Wayner's saying you got to take this as a compliment, son.
Yes, you do. I mean, you've done that, and they don't want to give us the ball there.
8:26 on the clock as the Cadets take over. Robinson Wayne is going to hand it off to Jordan Clay around the left side, looking for an opening. He gets it. Is that a horse collar?
Well, he didn't.
He didn't hold on.
He didn't hold on, and if they didn't call him down and he ultimately let go, then it's not a horse collar because it's technically not a tackle. So,
but that's enough to pick up 4. It'll bring up 2nd and 6.
So they go short side on that stretch play right there to get 4 yards.
Robinson Wayne backs either side. He's going to send Artie McAlpine in motion out to the right side. Hands it off to Clay to the left. Good call. He's going to pick up about 2 before being wrapped up by Will Whitson. We'll bring up 3rd and short. McAlpine's motion cleared the path for Clay.
Yeah, I think Jordan hesitated a little bit and just needed to stick his head down and go.
7:41. Audible coming in from the sideline.
Little freeze game right there, trying to draw him off sides.
Robinson Wayne communicates to the line. He's going to take this. Snaps to his left-hand side, pulls it in, finds Karate Brenson. Brenson fights for the first down.
Now, the one thing I don't like about this is it's a really good play there by CBC, but one of the defenders for Winton Woods got a hand on a face mask right here. I was staring right at it, and the official's looking right at it. And he's pulling up on that face mask. Look, sometimes it accidentally happens, and I'm cool with that, but not yanking on it.
Robinson Wayne takes the snap. Drops back, pressure from the right side, steps up in the pocket. He's got Dixon who pulls it in.
Yeah!
Tyler Dixon is going to take it all the way. Touchdown, CBC.
What a huge play for CBC in that situation. I thought we were going to get it knocked away by the defender for Winton Woods. Dixon got up, cradled it, came down on his feet, and was gone.
Robinson Wayne to Tyler Dixon for a 58-yard touchdown completion. And that happens with 7:02 remaining in the second quarter. Great throw by Robinson Wayne. You see what he can do out of the pocket, but just so composed. Steps up into the pocket as it collapses on either corner. And just a great throw, good catch. K6 extra point is good. 21-21.
He couldn't let Heidert outdo him now. That rivalry's going to go on for the next 3 years, Tom.
It'll be fun for everybody but opponents.
Especially if they continue to be successful.
What a catch that is by Tyler Dixon. And what an answer it is by the CBC Cadets.
Well, and I think Tyler's needed a big catch. I mean, he's been out there doing a lot of dirty work, blocking on screen passes and doing a lot of other stuff, and he's had a little bit of tough luck. He had a big catch against Chaminade a few weeks ago, but I'm happy to see Tyler get a big catch there. He's been playing both ways and grinding it out and did a great job.
Coming into this game, only 9 receptions for Dixon, but he did have a touchdown, averaging 10.1 per reception. That 58-yarder will certainly help that number.
Well, and if you got Brinson, Dixon, and Hahn as 3 very reliable receivers out there that the quarterbacks feel they can go to, along with Kenneth Hamilton is a good 4th, gives CBC great options.
Charlton's kickoff is going to be fielded at about the 5-yard line. Full head of steam. Flags coming in.
There's flags all over the place.
All over the place.
Cow,
that looked like Tyrek
3 or
Spikes,
4.
number 26, on the return. 1, 2, 3.
There's 3 for sure. There might be a 4th one on the near sideline. I don't know, but everybody saw something.
That is a hold against Winton Woods.
I wonder if there was multiple holds on that because it's going to be a spot foul, so they're going to pick the one that's closest to the other goal line. They're all
getting
trained.
straight. Whose flag is which?
Whose flags is whose?
They put names on them? I thought they were all the same.
Well, they get the yellow flag, and they get the rubber band and stuff it with whatever they want. So I guess they can tell by whatever they stuck in there for their weight.
It's a whole new world of possibilities. How do you put
Yes,
together
sir.
a yellow flag to personal tastes? Put little weights, get the right feel as you release it.
Never officiated officially a football game, just in scrimmages and stuff, so I don't know.
Michael Wingfield, he's going to send Murray in motion, and here he is around the left side. It's a good gain of about 7, bring up 2nd and 3.
CBC strung it out, but gave up a little bit too much in terms of the push there on that play, and needed to get a little bit more penetration before stringing it out.
2nd and 3. Ball is on their own 26-yard line, looks like. This is Wingfield going to keep it. He's around the left. Stays in bounds. Gets the first down plus about 5 extra. And that'll move the chains. 1st and 10.
Well, CBC's crashing down really, really hard on that interior running game, and that's opening the game up for Winfield on the outside. CBC, I know they've got an assignment for that. They've got to do a little bit better job getting their man on that guy.
There's a handoff inside. This is Blankensee. He's going to pick up about 2.
Ray Lingard wrapped him up around the ankles. You just kind of saw Blankensee kind of falling over as it looked like his momentum was still going forward. And there you could see little number 11 middle linebacker Ray Lingard hanging on his ankles.
Ray Lingard, the leading tackler for CBC. If you include assists, he was at 50 coming into this game with 4 sacks and 2 fumble recoveries. That's a pretty productive half season for a guy who's supposed to be the star running back. Cut inside. This is Williams. He's through. No, correction. Sorry, folks. That is number 25, Imani Steele, number 25, not 28. Moving the chains.
Jeffrey Morgan, the sophomore safety, bringing him down in the open field there. Not a bad little tackle there by Morgan.
5 minutes and 30 seconds when this ball is snapped. There it is. Another handoff inside. Good tackle. He picks up 9. It'll be 2nd and short after another nice carry by Imani Steele.
They're going with a little bit quicker back in this situation, and hard to believe I'd be saying that, but a little bit smaller, quicker backs able to get through those holes a little bit better than Williams was, and not that he was doing poorly, but in terms of busting a few more big plays.
Wingfield fumbles it into the backfield. Brought down by Mike West, who came flying in after the mistake on the snap. And that's a big loss. Takes him back to the original line of scrimmage, brings up 3rd and 10.
So that's a big third down play. It'll be a big third down play for CBC. I thought for half a second there that West was going to end up sliding off and he was going to get his feet and we were going to be in trouble, but ultimately his balance was too knocked off.
Wingfield takes a snap, looks to his left. And that's going to be about a 4-yard gain on the completion to Deshaun Clifton. Bring up 4th and 6.
The one thing CBC sees a lot of in practice is defending the screen. Anytime they go with their number ones on number ones where we're doing our stuff against our stuff, that's one of the things that they see a lot of defending. So.
Clock ticking just below 4 minutes. Still running. They're going to go for it. Again, 4th and 6 here in the second quarter. Wingfield takes it. He's throwing. Chase down for the backside. Fumble. Calvin Carey falls on it after Tyler Dixon forces the fumble. What a hit from the weak side.
Boy, Calvin Carey's going to want, when he looks at that on film, he's going to wish he would have been a little more patient. He had a scoop. I don't know if he scores, but he had a scoop into some yards. But we'll take the ball just inside Winton Woods territory. Great defensive sequence there by CBC. After giving up a first down and another big run, they were able to force a turnover there. Really, I'll call it the 3rd turnover on Winton Woods if you count the botched punt snap. And then ultimately the interception. We'll see whether CBC could take their first lead of the game tonight.
Yep, 2 interceptions in the game, 1 apiece. And the odd turnover there goes CBC's way. They're going to take over with 3:45 to go. 1st and 10. Handoff to Jordan Clay, trying to cut it back inside. He gets leveled. That'll be a loss of about 2.
So we got Heidert back in the game at quarterback here. And, CBC's running game hasn't quite gotten on track, but they're still staying true to it and running the ball enough to force Winton Woods to defend it.
Completion to Hahn. Hyder, could he have another one? He does!
Outstanding.
Patrick Hyder one-ups Aiden Robinson-Wayne on a completion. So you can throw for a touchdown, well, I'll throw for 2. Who's running the fastest right now back to the sideline? Patrick Hyder.
Well, I'm sure he's excited. He's having a big game. Aiden Robinson-Wayne's having a big game. CBC's playing with a lot of poise and confidence against a very high-quality opponent. The defender was late getting situated on Hahn, and when he came off the ball, he wasn't in a position to get in a good fit on that pattern, and Hahn streaking across in that crossing route, caught the ball in stride and never slowed down.
So that's about a 45-yard completion. Extra point is up. It's good. 28-0 CBC as a light drizzle starts to fall.
Yeah, there was a chance for rain this afternoon, and as I'm going to say, I hope some college coaches are watching out there. Zach Hahn is going to be a great find for somebody after next year. Only a junior with great hands, great route running ability, and extremely physically tough. An outstanding football player for somebody soon. You see Nate Latch taking his camera and walking off the field. I was like, I'm not getting wet.
And Motzi's starting to cover the equipment.
Umbrellas popped up.
Cadet fans, we are proud to have Chick-fil-A as the official chicken sandwich of the Cadet Student Network. Those delicious Chick-fil-A sandwiches are available in CBC's concession stand, so grab a sandwich next time you're on campus. Be sure to visit our favorite Chick-fil-A location on Manchester Road, just east of Ballas. Chick-fil-A is CSN's favorite pregame meal. Should be your pregame meal, too. Thank you, Chick-fil-A. Braden Paulus, kind enough to make a run for a couple of Chick-fil-A sandwiches before the broadcast starts, but then he ate them both. Had to get that in at some point. Short kick in the gap. CBC trying to recover this one. They almost get there.
Oh, my gosh. That was steps away.
That was steps away.
Jacob Tatum was bearing down on that, along with 84. I still haven't got all these numbers down.
84 is Kendall Houston. It was Bryant Johnson Jr. Great composure to wrap up that ball with a lot of purple closing in on his face.
Well, and there was nobody to help him out right there either. So if he doesn't get that cleanly, that's going to be CBC's ball with 3:08 to go in the half.
You know you've got a dedicated manager. James Motes is down there building a teepee out of random items to cover up the electrical equipment as the drizzle is starting to fall. Currently using a bag of Ruffles. Williams, handoff inside. He's hauled down in the backfield. Big tackle by CBC. First two in there looked like C.J. Liddell and Calvin Carey.
And
he didn't go down naturally, did he?
He's slow getting up.
So they already had injury. Now he's not putting any weight on that right leg.
He's hopping off the field.
He's got a lot of tape on his ankles. Mayan Williams hobbles off the field. Boy, that's concerning. You already have Myquan Grace, who was hurt and haven't seen him back in this game. And now Williams really struggling with that right leg.
Winton Woods, plenty of talent on that sideline, though. I think they're going to be okay offensively. We've seen 25 carry the ball for them a few times and show some electric stuff. See whether CBC can continue putting defensive pressure on them.
Michael Wingfield in the shotgun. He's got Steele to his left. Quick throw on the near side.
Man, there's no place to go.
No, good closing down from CBC as Bryant Johnson had nowhere to go when he caught that ball.
You need to be careful with that. Mike West has got extremely good hands. If he gets a paw on that, he's going to pick it off and go the other way.
And correct, Bryant Johnson Jr.
I'd love to be the fly on the wall in the Winton Woods locker room during halftime.
As their marching band starting to make their way around to the far side of the field. They brought their marching band, brought the cheerleaders. Good showing from Winton Woods here as well. Hope more are enjoying on the Cadet Student Network. Wingfield going long. Just overthrew Bryant Johnson Jr.
I'm not sure who's supposed to be on that coverage out there, whether that was supposed to be George Cooper or Jeffrey Morgan or who, but somebody messed up, and we got very, very lucky, CBC.
Yeah, the two of those players you mentioned sorting things out. Actually, it looked like Cam Powell and Jeffrey Morgan having a conversation after that one. But If he catches that, that is a touchdown.
The 8 and the 6 on our uniform numbers are so hard to read.
Well, and especially because, the way they wear them so tight these days, they get stuck up under the shoulder pads right where the number, you need that little portion. You get 8 and 9 look alike sometimes. Always fun trying to take a guess. At least they're not two-tone numbers. Wingfield's punt is a shank out of bounds.
So they're marking it off at about the 48-yard line is when he walked that up. So CBC with great field position with 1:45 to left. Chance to maybe take a 2-score lead going into halftime. This would be a great feather in CBC's cap. They've played great physical football to start this half. And obviously have learned some things from the game against the Cement and are competing against a very high-quality opponent today.
So CBC will take over at the 48, 1:45 on the clock. It's Robinson Wayne back out at quarterback. Brenson is in the backfield. Fake handoff to Clay. Robinson Wayne rolls to his right. He's going to take a shot. He does. Brenson can't pull it in.
Boy,
Incomplete.
just a little bit less on that ball. Brenson's going to put it down. Or if he goes a little bit heavier, Tyler Dixon was right there. Came off of his route, came back for the ball.
That was number 9, Cameron Sanders, in the backfield delivering the hit on Robinson Wayne. He is the player who picked one off for Winton Woods earlier.
But you see the speed of Winton Woods right there, their ability to get perimeterally defensive.
Robinson Wayne keeps it. Around the left, cuts inside, back outside, flag coming in. Still going Robinson Wayne. He'll finally be brought down at about the 36-yard line.
Yeah, I think you're going to get a hold.
There they do.
Yep. Anytime you see that and you're weaving in and out and you see you see that flag come in there, that's usually a hold, and I'm going to guess Winton Woods is going to take that. This is the one thing that's kind of hurt CBC a little bit with this young team is they've made some mistakes in some crucial situations when they've had big plays, on the horizon. And, we've seen it a couple times in all the games so far except for the Smet. They've been able to acquit themselves of that, but you don't want to do that too often.
So difficult, as you mentioned, when he's cutting back and forth because you can't really see that as a blocker. The defender can, so he's going to react, and if you're a little bit late taking your hands off, that's all it takes. Handoff underneath this Clay, cuts back inside. He's going to pick up a couple, but not back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd and about 18.
Well, not a great situation for CBC to be in here, but would have liked for a little bit different set of situation. I think you're going to CBC let the clock run down quite a bit here with the 40-second clock before they run this play, and I'm going to guess that since CBC's in a situation, too, they might try to run this out.
Inside of a minute now, Robinson Wayne dropping back. Rolling to his right. He's going to be closed down, throws to the sideline, caught by Tyler Dixon, turns back in field. Does he get back to the original line of scrimmage? No. He's about 2 yards short. It'll be 4th and 12.
Yeah, I think if Coach Pingler would have been a fly on the wall over there with Dixon, he would have said, stay in bounds if you're not going to get the first down. Now CBC's in a situation to bring their punting unit on there, and if you're Winton Woods with 40 seconds left, you may choose to go after the ball here a little bit, and it doesn't look like they're putting anybody intermediarily. You don't want to turn this half around on a bad snap or a punt, and could have been out of this game, out of this half.
Johnny Honig back to do the punting. He's standing at his own 35. Good snap, caught, pressure up. That's blocked.
What I was afraid of.
It's blocked by Winton Woods. It will get out of bounds.
I hate to be prophetic there, folks, but that's the situation you're in when Dixon got out of bounds and stopped the clock. It forced CBC to have to run a play. If he stays in bounds and the clock runs, you're at least forcing Winton Woods to call timeout and force the punt in that situation.
So 34.1 seconds remaining.
Big test here for CBC's defense.
And it's Andrew Booker who gets the block. Nicknamed Bam Booker. Nice story on him this summer. Mission trip to Haiti. Haven't met him. It seems like the kind of young man you want on your team, especially if he can block punts like that. Wingfield rolling to his left. Good throw. It's off the CBC shoulder pad. Incomplete. 27.3 remaining on the clock.
Sean Harsh was bearing down on the receiver. I don't know if he really got a good look at the ball or if it was just coming in too hot for him to get his hands up. Sean Harsh is a pretty good receiver in his own right.
If he reacts a little quicker, he could have his 4th interception of the year.
But he might have been off to the races. He runs pretty well.
So bring up 2nd and 10. Ball on the CBC 32-yard line. Again, Winton Woods taking over after the blocked punt, trying to capitalize right before halftime. Wingfield keeps it to his right. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, cuts to the right side. Still going to the right. Cuts in, and he will be forced out of bounds by George Cooper after picking up the first down, 19.1 on the clock.
Number 60 for Winton Woods gave C.J. Liddell a little bit of a ride, and it kind of went a little long, but I got no problems with that.
Brendan Lowry, that was. 5'11", 275. Not a bad guy to be running behind, is it?
Nope.
Wingfield again in the shotgun. CBC showing blitz from his right side. He rolls to the other side. Wingfield being closed down by West, and he's brought down. West is chasing him from the backside, and it looked like 24. Was that 24 Jacob Tatum who got in there, or was it?
I'm not sure. I know 87, Charlie Kilby was in on some of that. You had Mike West chasing around the outside. Maybe Calvin Carey, 34, was in the mix there. But
might have been. Couldn't see the number.
I saw Charlie Kilby give a dip and rip, working to the outside, basically saying, I'm not going to get beat to the perimeter as that defensive end, defensive tackle. And he fought and held him up a little bit, and that's one of the things that Winfield and Williams have hurt CBC on is being able to get to that perimeter a little bit. Force Winton Woods to call timeout here with 10 seconds left with 2nd down. You know, you can only hope that CBC's got a few more defensive plays and get in at halftime.
Trying to see if I can get an update on Mayan Williams. And I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe he's got his jersey and shoulder pads off, and he is sitting on a table on the sideline with ice on his ankle. So that is not good news. And the running back out there is number 25, Imani Steele. So you may have lost Grace and Williams here in this first half, both with lower body injuries.
Hey, I know I want CBC to win and everything, but the last thing I want is anybody to have to travel all the way here and get hurt, and hopefully there's no long-term season-affecting injuries to these young men who've played so hard in this game so far.
11.9 seconds remaining in this first half. 2nd and 10. Wingfield drops. He's going to throw. Look into the end zone. Scharnhorst can't get up. Oh, there's a flag thrown. They're going to get Blair Scharnhorst.
A touchdown and a pass interference.
So the pass interference against Scharnhorst, it was a catch, and a really impressive catch, I have to say. As the receiver over there, got the binoculars out.
They're not celebrating over there. I wonder if they're going to get a
Is that offensive
pass interference? You don't know exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, trying to see. It looks like we're awaiting the signal just like you are. There's also a flag in the backfield.
Oh.
Personal foul against CBC. Personal foul against Winton Woods. Pass interference against Winton Woods.
And it all wipes out.
Wow. What a great catch that was.
Well,
to bring it down in the back of the end zone. Literally speaking, to take a ball out of the air and bring it into your hands was impressive.
So CBC dodges one there, though. I mean, you get the double personal fouls, and then you don't get anything out of the offensive pass interference. This is where the weirdness of officiating and penalties. I'm okay with wiping out the 2 personal fouls, but you should mark that offensive pass interference off still because that's unrelated to the 2 personal fouls.
And couldn't quite tell on the receiver if it was 11 Kobe Sanders or 81
that was
Deshaun
81.
Clifton.
That
so
was 81
Deshaun Clifton. Okay.
Yes, I'm pretty positive. So we got a field goal attempt here on 2nd down with 4 seconds left.
Yep. Velasquez is going to come on, and CBC looks like going to take a timeout.
It's a 37-yard field goal, 35-yard. Looks like he's got set up about 36. And they were bringing Karate Brinson in, Chevalier Brinson, to get in on this kick cover, this kick block.
So this will be a 36-yard attempt from Velasquez, who, again, does have plenty of leg for this kick.
From the left hash. Anytime you push that ball out onto the hash, it does present some problems.
Yeah, I think a right-footed kicker would rather be on that left hash, though, than that right hash. Gives him a little better angle. Sometimes you tend to have that ball curl inside like a soccer player on a free kick. You get the old in-swinger.
Do you know anything about soccer? Sorry, I got to
have how to play it well? No, but
no, you've called your fair share, and You are definitely the soccer fan that I am not. I root for CBC soccer and follow it, and I'm happy we've got MLS coming to St. Louis, but not my usual sport.
Bottom line, I think Velasquez likes the way this sets up. I'd almost rather be at that hash than in the middle over on that left side.
And the wind died down a little bit.
It did. Not much to speak of. Good snap, good hold. Velasquez's kick is up. Plenty of leg. Is it good?
Got through.
It is. No trouble at all. That thing had an extra 15 yards on it.
It was more
good kick by Velasquez.
And more a question of whether he was going to push it right or left, but nice kick. And, there's some things to learn here from CBC in terms of clock management from the kids' point of view, not the coaches, the kids' point of view in terms of what's going on. You want to stay in bounds on that play there, but, still a nice half of football against a quality opponent here for CBC, up 28-24 going in at halftime.
So there you have it. There's the score, and there was the first half between CBC and Winton Woods. As the Warriors come from Ohio to CBC, they trail 24-28. We're going to step aside. We'll be back in a few minutes. You are watching the Cadet Student Network Cadet Student Network. Just the Cadet Student Network. We'll leave it at that. CSN. We need a break.
Well, we do. So
we'll be back.
CBC alum and State Farm agent Tim Kylo is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Cadet Student Network. For more than 25 years, Tim and his team have helped their clients protect what is most valuable to them. Whether it's home, auto, or business, CBC Alumni Hall of Famer Tim Kylo prides himself on his commitment to the CBC community, and he can help protect you and your family too. Give him a call at 314-842-4442 to see how Tim can save you money on your insurance. Learn more online at timkylo.com.
Men for tomorrow, brothers for life. We say it often, and we take great pride in our commitment to this motto. That commitment has become a part of who we are at CBC.
Our brotherhood is well defined. We see it, we feel it, we experience it every day. It's in the relationships we establish, the moments we share, and the memories we will cherish forever.
But what does it mean to be a man for tomorrow? It means that you've prepared your mind, your body, your spirit, and your conscience for anything.
CBC alum and State Farm agent Tim Kylo is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Cadet Student Network. For more than 25 years, Tim and his team have helped their clients protect what is most valuable to them. Whether it's home, auto, or business, CBC Alumni Hall of Famer Tim Kylo prides himself on his commitment to the CBC community, and he can help protect you and your family too. Give him a call at 314-842-4442 to see how Tim can save you money on your insurance. Learn more online at timkylo.com.
The band of brothers under the direction of Mr. Dale Sharkey. Next, the band will play a piece made famous by Blue Oyster Cult and made even more famous by Will Ferrell on Saturday Night Live. We've got a fever and the prescription is more caramel. close out today's halftime show with the well-known classic rock tune, Hooked on a Feeling by Blue Suede.
CBC alum and State Farm agent Tim Kylo is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Cadet Student Network. For more than 25 years, Tim and his team have helped their clients protect what is most valuable to them. Whether it's home, auto, or business, CBC Alumni Hall of Famer Tim Kylo prides himself on his commitment to the CBC community, and he can help protect you and your family too. Give him a call at 314-842-4442 to see how Tim can save you money on your insurance. Learn more online at timkylo.com.
Welcome back. Halftime of CBC versus Winton Woods. It's 28-24 in favor of the home Cadets. My name is Tom Eichwald, and alongside me, Chris Maris, in this beautiful fall afternoon broadcast of cadet football on the Cadet Student Network. We'll take you through a quick scoring summary of how we got to 28-24, and then we'll go over some unofficial stats as of halftime. Game started when the Winton Woods, on their first possession, snapped it over their punter's head. CBC took it over at the 6-yard line. Ray Lingard punched it in. That was with 7:50 to go. Winton Woods answered with a touchdown. It was Mayan Williams, 7-yard touchdown run. Winton Woods then threw an intercepted Aiden Robinson-Wayne. Cameron Sanders picked it off. And then on their first play, they scored on a touchdown pass to Clifton. That was with, I didn't write the time on that one. So at that point, it was 14-7 in favor of Winton Woods. Then, talking point, Myquan Grace goes off injured. With an injury to the right leg, we did not see him re-enter the game. Just before halftime, CBC intercepts just before the end of the first quarter, CBC intercepts. Cameron Powell picks it off with 39 seconds to go in the quarter. CBC scores on that drive. Heidert's pass to Hahn from about 10 yards. They score the extra point. Winton Woods answered. Wingfield runs it in from 14 yards. At that point, it's 21-14 in favor of Winton Woods. CBC ties it up with a 58-yard touchdown pass from Robinson-Wayne to Tyler Dixon with 7:02 to go in the quarter. After that, Winton Woods fumbled. Dixon forced it. Carey recovers it. And then Heidert to Hahn from 45 yards to score on the ensuing possession. Mayan Williams gets hurt with 2:53 to go in the half. He's off with the right leg injury. They carted him up to the locker room at halftime, so presuming we will not see Mayan Williams back in this game. And then CBC takes over with 1:45 to go. They can't score. In fact, they get their punt blocked by Andrew Booker. And then Winton Woods ends the half on a 36-yard field goal attempt by Velasquez. Some unofficial stats for you as of halftime. In terms of total offense, CBC with about 220 and Winton Woods with 258. For Winton Woods, 36 of those yards have been in the air, 222 on the ground. For the Cadets, 179 passing yards, only 41 rushing yards. We'll talk about that. The key difference in team stats, though, Winton Woods, 15 minutes and 46 seconds in possession. For CBC, only 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Individual stats. Robinson-Wayne, about 50% on his completions. Threw for just under 100 yards and a touchdown with an interception. Heidert, about 4 for 5, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wingfield, 3 for 6 with 24 yards and 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The other receiving yards were attributed to Cam Sanders in our stats. Rushing yards, Robinson-Wayne ran for about 22, Jordan Clay for about 10. Mayan Williams was the star, running for 158 yards before the injury. Steele had 25 and Wingfield had 22. Receiving yards, Clifton with 2 receptions for 22 yards, Murray with 2 receptions for 12 yards, and Blankensee with no receptions for Winton Woods. For the Cadets, Hahn, the leading receiver, 5 receptions for 95 yards, that's 19 per catch, and 2 touchdowns. The other touchdown was Dixon, 2 receptions for 63 yards, 31.5 per. There's your summary and stat rundown. I'm going to bring in Chris Maris for his overall thoughts on what we saw in that first half.
Well, I was very impressed with both teams in different situations. Winton Woods' ability to pound and run the ball. Their offensive and defensive lines are physical as advertised. I was equally impressed with the poise of both Heidert and Robinson-Wayne to be able to throw into some tough situations and ultimately get CBC a nice lead in this game to start off with. The carelessness with the ball by Winton Woods is ultimately one of the key factors here. 3 huge turnovers. If you count the bad snap on the punt, have really helped set up 3 different CBC scores. And, it's been that situation, though. And you saw Winton Woods block a punt late in that fourth quarter when CBC couldn't stay in bounds and run the half out, and that helped them get 3 points to make this a 4-point game with the second half still to play.
28-24 your score at halftime. You are watching the Cadet Student Network. My name is Tom Eichwald. That was Chris Maris. We have a number of students making the broadcast possible tonight. I want to thank them. We also have Randy Gardner, as always, to my left, running the board. He's got a headset on, so he can't hear us talking about him.
Can he?
No reaction. No reaction whatsoever. He's either got a good poker face or he actually can't hear us. I'm going to go with he can't hear us. Both teams taking the field again. If you're just joining us, it's been a good one. CBC in the purple shirts, gold helmets, white pants. They're going left to right across your screen in this third quarter. And the visiting Warriors, Winton Woods out of Cincinnati, Ohio, in the white shirts, blue pants, and blue helmets. The Cadets will start with possession here in the second half.
Well, they're going to kick off to us. We'll see who ultimately gets possession. I could see them maybe trying a little bit of trickery here at the beginning of the half, maybe to change momentum a little bit.
The return game for CBC, Dakota Mayo with a couple of very solid 30-plus yard returns. And after that, Winton Woods decided not to kick to him, so we'll see what they do here. It's Velasquez to get us going here in the second half. They're going to kick short left. Artie McAlpine can't bring it in, but it goes out of bounds.
I was afraid they might do something like that. McAlpine was kind of late on getting up on the ball, and it kicked out of bounds after McAlpine hit it. So you're not going to get a penalty on that situation. We're going to get the ball on the 30-yard line, but that was almost disastrous for CBC.
Got to say, very impressed with Velasquez. He sees that big spot. He sees that he can kind of fit it in just in front of McAlpine, where McAlpine's got to run up to it. So he put it in a perfect place, and they very nearly recovered the ball from it.
So thankfully that didn't work out that way. CBC will start their offensive series here on the 30-yard line.
First play from scrimmage here in the second half. Robinson Wayne out there at quarterback. Hands it off to Jordan Clay around the left side. He's past the line of scrimmage. He's got the first down.
And that would be one of the things I would say is the key to this half, because the time of possession is very lopsided in favor of Winton Woods, but a large part of that is because CBC's had to throw the ball to have their success, which means a lot of stoppage in clock and quick offense. They need to grind some yards here.
Here's the snap. Robinson Wayne pump fakes to Hahn. Instead, he's going deep to Karate Brenson. He's going to have to get it over his man. He cannot get there. Coverage there provided by Javon Thompson, number 21.
So they faked the outside bubble screen and tried to go deep to Brinson there, and the defender did a nice job keeping himself between him and Brinson, keeping Brinson being able to come back on that ball, and it was thrown a little short.
That brings up a 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Still Aiden Robinson Wayne out there. Hahn is in motion, going from right to left. They fake the handoff to Hahn. It's Robinson Wayne keeping it around the right. Cuts inside his blocker, back into the middle of the field. He's close to another first down, and I think he got it.
I think the far side judge is going to call him for the first down there. So
you and I were talking over the stats report at halftime, Chris, about how CBC with 41 yards of rushing in the first half. I believe your exact words were that needs to be higher.
Well, it does, and they've got 20 right here, right now to get started.
Right.
Somebody didn't do the right thing.
Yeah, Wayne looking at Hahn.
Hahn went down on the play. He was down here on the sideline. I think he slipped or got attacked, and so Aiden Robinson Wayne wisely just threw it into the ground near Hahn and killed the play, incomplete pass. So CBC will. That's a veteran play right there. I was about to say, that's Robinson Wayne.
Composure you don't often see at the high school level. Robinson Wayne fires. He finds Hahn. He's going to pick up about 5. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
So you're going to have 3rd and about 4 or 5 there.
But to go back to that, throwing at his feet, you can't completely throw it away because then it's intentional grounding. You can't risk the interception. Hahn's probably not going to catch it because he's just not open. But he just throws it at his feet right in front of him. Great composure from Aiden Robinson Wayne. Here he is rolling to the right, throwing off balance. He's got Brenson who hauls it in. That'll be a first down. Chains keep moving for CBC.
You got a penalty in the middle of the field over here. I think they might get a legal man downfield. Yep, illegal man downfield on CBC. So either receiver was covered up that went downfield or one of the offensive linemen got a little too aggressive in his path down the field. So that should be a 5-yard penalty, and CBC will have to try again. And CBC's done a nice job in terms of some of their execution, but once again, penalties seem to be something that they can't seem to shake. And against a quality team like this, you can't give them extra opportunities to stop you.
CBC 5 penalties for 30 yards in the first half. Winton Woods 10 for 80. Showing blitz right up the middle. Robinson Wayne sidesteps. He's wide open. Still running up the middle. Splits 2 tacklers, and he is all the way down to the 23-yard line.
Folks, there's the electric nature of Aiden Robinson Wayne. They blitzed, had nobody in the middle. He took 1 step. He was 0 to 60 in about a half a second, and he had that first down before I could even blink.
Chains barely set when they snap this one. Jordan Clay around the left side, and he will pick up about 5 or 6.
And if people are a little upset there, only the box has to be set. Only the down marker needs to be set. in order for the ball to be set to play. And if the officials want to set the ball and that down marker set, CBC's good to go.
That rule doesn't always come into play, but with CBC and Scott Pingle's offense, it tends to, doesn't it? Robinson Wayne's going to take this. Fakes the handoff on the option, but he keeps it. Juking through the middle, and he is close to another first down. Looks like he's got it.
So CBC making a very deliberate intentions here to run the ball, and primarily with Aiden Robinson Wayne. I don't think the previous one was a draw, but ultimately good play for CBC.
Looks like they're going with some options. Robinson Wayne, Zach Hahn, touchdown, CBC! Back shoulder throw, and Hahn gets inside the pylon.
That was a veteran type of throw right there by Aiden Robinson Wayne to go back shoulder because the defender was upfield on Hahn, had him covered from that point of view, but he went back shoulder. Hahn snagged it in and got himself into the end zone for another CBC score.
So that's a touchdown catch to Zach Hahn. Josh Kasich will come on to try to make it 35-24. Extra points up, and it's good. Plenty of leg on it from Kasich. Oh, that was Charlton.
That was Charlton? No, Charlton was holding. It was Kasich.
That was Kasich, okay.
Yeah, Charlton's the holder and has been. CBC's shown great poise in this game, and they've not gotten shaky. They've kept their composure and done a great job just kind of continuing to fight through everything. They've got themselves a 10-point lead now, 11-point lead, I'm sorry, and put them in a good position here if they can get a stop on defense, put some pressure on Winton Woods.
CBC is proud to have East Bay as the official apparel provider of Cadet Athletics. East Bay and Under Armour keep our players and coaches looking good on the field, and they can make you look good too. Keep your eye out for CBC online team stores or shop anytime at www.eastbay.com. Special welcome to all of our viewers from the Cincinnati area as Winton Woods comes in for this game. If you couldn't make the trip, we hope you're enjoying the broadcast. It's been a pleasure bringing it to you, and what a great game of football we have in front of us. Short kick from Charlton. Fielded by Long. Nowhere to go. He's wrapped up. We get a flag down. TJ Summers hauled him down, but might have had a little leverage on the face mask.
He started on the face mask and came off of it, so it's a good play there by CBC. Bad situation as he reached around and got a hold of the mask.
And there it is, officially a face mask by TJ Summers. And that will give decent field position to the Winton Woods Warriors for their first possession of this second half.
We'll see they're walking off 5 or 15 on this one.
So if you are joining at halftime, you may have missed the summary.
It's a 5.
Mayan Williams is not playing at this point. He was injured in the first half, second quarter, and he went off, and he has not come back out. He was carted up to the locker room at break, and the primary running back is number 25, Amani Steele. Certainly hope Williams is okay. It was a lot of fun watching him in that first half. Steele around the left. He'll pick up 4. You mentioned in the first half, Chris, some of the alums down there on the bench.
Well, a lot of them are either on weeks off or they're redshirting. A lot of guys who just went away to school, and talked to Julian Williams at halftime. He's still finally cleared from an injury, and he is redshirting this year up at Missouri Western. I didn't get a chance to talk to some of the other guys.
There's the option. They hand it off to Steele. He's moving right, shakes off a tackle. We got another flag coming in. They may get another face mask against CBC over there.
It could be a hold, too, the way that went in. There were several CBC players that were sprawled out on the ground in kind of weird set of circumstances there.
Face mask.
They're calling a face mask.
Couldn't tell who it was. There were two tacklers
51.
over there.
51.
If that's 51, that would be Cale Lipinski.
That is not right.
I don't think that's Cale Lipinski grabbing a face mask.
That's a 15-yarder. That's a killer right there. Well, I won't be too hard on the officials, but I think they missed a couple of holds on that play too, but we'll take it for what it's worth.
We are the Cadet Student Network, in case this is your first broadcast. We'll be honest about that. 8 minutes 30 and counting. High snap. Wingfield surprised. He held on to it. He's got Blankham-C over there. And he'll pick up a couple, maybe 2. You could see when Michael Wingfield caught that ball, he was almost expecting it to be by him. He had to kind of get his bearings once he grabbed that. It was a bullet of a snap.
Yeah, it was, and they've had a couple of snap issues in this game.
2nd and 8. Wingfield hands off to Steele right up the gut. He'll pick up about 2 more. We'll bring up 3rd and 6. 3rd down chimes here over the CBC speakers. Always helpful as an announcer. Sometimes
yes, it is.
You lose track of the down and you hear the music.
It's like, oh.
So 3rd and 6. Wingfield takes the snap. Looking to the right side, and he has Clifton with enough for the first down. Good conversion.
Nice play right there. Pitch and catch right there between the quarterback and the receiver. And Winton Woods is on the march here, so they've got a little bit of renewed fervor.
They are trailing by 11, and they could use a touchdown here. So far, it's been a pretty offensive-heavy game. Very efficient in terms of possessions turning into scoring on both sides. Wingfield hands it off underneath. This is Steele. He's brought down in the secondary.
George Cooper, and a lot of people
They're
piling
saying
on.
that-
I think they're saying the ball popped out. I see George Cooper popped up, pointing towards CBC side.
CBC ball! Woo! The Cadets recover a fumble. Another turnover from Winton Woods.
I saw George Cooper after making that tackle pop up, point to CBC side, and I never saw the ball come out, but obviously it did before Steele hit the ground.
So CBC will take over, and what a blow it would be if they could score off of this turnover at a key moment.
Would be a huge set of circumstances for CBC at this particular point in the game.
So it was Imani Steele who lost a handle on it. CBC takes over. The ball is on their own 14-yard line. 1st and 10, Robinson Wayne in at quarterback. Jordan Clay will pick up a couple. Forward progress stops shortly thereafter.
Ball pops out late, but the whistle had already blown. And you're seeing Patrick Hyder playing kind of the role of the H-back / fullback / tight end.
Jordan Clay slow to get up. That's not good to see. He's hobbling, having trouble putting weight on that right leg.
And Artie McAlpine was already headed on the field.
And you could tell something wasn't right the way Clay went down. He's hobbling over. He'll get a hand from Brady Feeney. So we'll keep an eye on him. Hopefully he's moving okay.
He looks like he might be cramping. The way he's putting his heel down looks like he might have a cramp. With the way the weather's been, this is kind of prime weather for these guys to cramp up, especially if they're not hydrated right. Trying to get 15 to 18-year-old kids to hydrate properly is sometimes not easy.
I feel like he could replace hydrate properly with a lot of things, and sometimes it would work. Robinson Wayne across the middle. He's got Brenson. Big hit. Brenson holds on.
But he kept the ball.
He knew the hit was coming from Javon Thompson, and Karate Brenson holds on.
Nice play there by Brinson. That ball floated a little bit there, kind of hung him out to dry.
Robinson Wayne is going to keep it. And he's only going to pick up.
He got about 5. He got a second.
That's a hard-fought
right
5.
there. Yeah, it is.
Thought they were going to haul him down right at the line of scrimmage,
I did
but instead
too.
brings up 2nd and short. I think they gave him 5.5 on that one.
We'll take it. Heidert checks back in the game.
But Robinson Wayne is out there as well, so it looks like Heidert will be playing. He's not playing quarterback here. Whistles. What do we have?
I don't know. Offensive lineman for CBC's jersey was up over his shoulder pads and just getting it right before they go. Sometimes you're a player out there, you don't know that those things are going on. You're just ready to go.
6 minutes 13 and counting. Artie McAlpine, the running back. Robinson Wayne sends him to his right. Motion on front.
No,
Winton Woods moved. CBC thinks they're going to get one here.
I think they are too. Winton Woods kind of shaking their heads. I think the right defensive tackle or right defensive end for Winton Woods jumped. Yeah, they're saying he is short. I don't know how, but okay.
So that will be 2nd and very short for the Cadets. Same formation. Robinson Wayne keeps it, shugs off a tackler in the
Get
backfield.
first down. Oh,
He's going to struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage,
we're
and we
gonna
get a
get
flag.
hold. See, there's a situation with that penalty there. I wonder if Coach Pingle would have liked to have gone back and had a different play call there. Maybe they signaled in something a little bit differently, but just try to go at him and get the first down. Now you're going to be 2nd and 11.
A few personnel changes for CBC. 3 wide receivers out left side. A lot of talent over there. Dixon, Hahn, and Brenson. And that's the way Robinson Wayne is looking. He's going to fire. He's got Dixon, pulls it in, spins, first down, Cadets.
It's a couple of really, really big catches for Tyler Dixon. Glad to see the senior getting in on some action here. He's had a pretty solid game for CBC.
As you mentioned, does a lot of things that don't show up in the stat column.
Well, and I was a little critical of him at the end of the half, but at the same time, he hasn't had as many opportunities. So it's, if you're not in those situations.
Pressure on Robinson Wayne. He gets it away. Dixon again, still going. He's going to be tackled just short of the first down marker. He'll pick up 8, bring up 2nd and 2.
Nice little inside screen there. And the one thing to remember, Tyler Dixon, for the first 2 years of his CBC career, was a running back, and a very good one at that. So he's good at running physically.
Handoff underneath. Still going. Artie McAlpine is through. Big gain for CBC. They'll be inside the 30.
Great balance by Artie McAlpine right there, spelling Jordan Clay. Nice run there to get CBC the first down.
We'll get a timeout called by Winton Woods. We'll catch our breath and tell you about Resurrection Charities Foundation. This is a special organization dedicated to feeding and supporting the homeless in our community through street outreach. Each week, a dedicated team of volunteers commit many hours to preparing and delivering meals to the people who need it most. This effort is led by our own founding sponsor, Tim Kylo, a great example of how CBC's alumni carry our LaSallian mission far beyond their high school days. To learn more about Tim's work, just search Resurrection Charities Foundation on Facebook. And be sure to show your support for this great organization. For any of you seniors that might be listening, you can also get some senior service hours by talking to Mr. Kylo about Resurrection Charities Foundation. Less than a month before contract deadline, boys.
There's your service.
There's a plug. Yep. I have a forum, Chris. I'm going to take advantage of it.
Brought to you by the CBC Mission and Vision and Mission Community, or Mission and Campus Ministry Program.
Not a sponsor of CBC, but hopefully or CSN, but hopefully they don't come after me for reading an illicit ad.
Aren't we all sponsors of CSN in some way, shape, or form?
We are.
We just don't have a budget.
So true. But that's where the support of folks like Mr. Kylo and Chick-fil-A in East Bay, we are so grateful for it. 5:04 to go here in the third quarter. McAlpine through the middle. He's got a hole. Still going. Artie McAlpine slaloming through. Touchdown, CBC. McAlpine cannot be tackled, and he goes all the way through. Touchdown, Artie McAlpine.
What a great burst by Artie McAlpine, and then great balance to keep his feet all the way through there, carrying a tackler into the end zone. Folks, we're a little bit over midway through the third quarter here, and the tempo of CBC, I think, is having a bit of an effect on Winton Woods a little bit. It's a little warm out there, even though it's a nice day in St. Louis. It gets warm down on that turf.
K6 extra point is up and good. It has a soccer goal, too, but they won't give him an extra one for that. And that is 42-24. Cadets starting to pull away. That possession was all created by the fumble. Steele put it on the deck, and it's recovered by CBC, and the Cadets make them pay.
CBC's been able to capitalize on Winton Woods' turnovers and mistakes. And not to say that Winton Woods they've done the same thing. They've gotten some of CBC's mistakes to turn into points for them, but just a few more turnovers for Winton Woods in this situation. And I know they made a very dedicated effort to run the ball right there on that last possession. And, in high school football, if you can force a team to drive and, take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plays in order to score, you're more than likely going to get them to make a mistake, whether it be a turnover or a penalty or something like that. And CBC's been able to do that to Winton Woods just enough. Bend but not break.
Charlton's kickoff, deep. It'll be fielded. I believe that's Steele who fields it. And he will be wrapped up at about the 28-yard line. And your score is 42-24. If you are a Cadet fan or a lover of palindromes, you're happy with that score. If you are Winton Woods, you're probably thinking that, some of those turnovers are going to come back and get you, and they have. But there's plenty of time left. I know you're down your star running back, but there's more than enough talent on this Winton Woods team to make up a deficit in a hurry.
Well, they are, and it's just going to be CBC's going to have to play good discipline on defense and not give up the big play. If they're going to get one, make them eat a lot of clock and really, really have to earn it.
Wingfield holds in the snap, hands it off to Steele, who's wrapped up after a gain of 1.
Colin Bell, sophomore in the mix there. We've caught a lot of sophomores' names figuring in here, and these guys are growing up on the field right before our eyes. Jeffrey Morgan, Colin Bell, among others, are just playing bigger and bigger roles.
Clock at 4 minutes 19 and counting here in the third quarter. Wingfield's going to keep it around the left side. Being chased down, closed down by Powell and Dixon, and he's going to be brought down. Also in there on the backside looked like, is that Garrett Shantz, the junior linebacker?
Yeah, Garrett's gotten a fair amount of playing time in this second half, and inside linebacker and spelling Ray Lingard. I haven't seen a lot of Ray in this half. Maybe he was out there and I missed him. Hopefully he is not banged up or hurt or anything.
Third down. Good reminder from the chimes.
And Tyler Dixon did just enough to string that out.
3rd and 3. Wingfield in the shotgun. It takes the snap. He's going to keep it. Wingfield has the first down. Spin move, gets about 3 more.
Ball came out late. I don't know if they're calling it out or whether he was down. Ultimately,
they're going to say it was down.
Okay.
But alert play by Blankensee to bounce on it.
Yeah, he popped on that ball there. That could have been disastrous for
Fumble
Winton
actually
Woods.
would have given him about 3 extra yards as it was. Clock ticks below 3.5 remaining in the third. Wingfield hold on the far side. West was wrapped up. Long pass to Clifton. They're going to get a flag down there.
They're going to get a pass interference
now,
on Jeffrey Morgan.
They're going to get Morgan on pass interference, but they missed what appeared to be a blatant hold on Mike West. Who was it that had a...
They got 2 penalties on the far side. I think they're going to get a hold and pass interference.
Brendan Lowry for Winton Woods had a firm grasp of Mike West's shoulder pads. And Mike West explaining it to a second official. He tried the first one. He's showing that his pad is outside his jersey and saying, "How did that happen, sir?" So that is going to be potentially costly for CBC, unless they're going to say offsetting. Nope.
No, it'll be a 15-yard penalty and first down. That's the one thing. That's the one thing about pass interference on the high school level, though. It's a 15-yard penalty. So, if you're this far back and that guy's got you beat and you know he's going to catch the ball or you think he might, it's not a bad play to pull him down. It's better to give up a 15-yard penalty than a touchdown in that situation.
Wingfield takes a snap, hands it off to Blankensee around the left.
Nothing
and he's going to be brought down in the backfield.
CBC strung that out. Tyler Dixon strung that out. Loss of 2 on that.
It'll bring up 2nd and 12.
It probably doesn't hurt that these CBC guys have been practicing the last few years against one of the best CBC teams ever to come through the school, winning 2 state championships. They've seen a lot of this stuff, so now they're kind of learning how to play against it. And
Wingfield has Blankensee. Shakes off 1 tackle. Almost gets away from the second. Good wrap-up by Mike West.
Well, I thought Mike was, whoever was popped up there and thought he was going to knock the ball down, got through. He had to bounce out. Mike turns around and helps run down and get in on that next play.
Third and 8. Pressure from the left side. Dixon chasing him. Pass is thrown. Almost intercepted by Schonhorst. Would have been number 4 on the season. Late flag.
Late flag. Oh, please hope that's not on CBC. Yeah, he's talking to Mike West on this, so I'm going to guess it is. So that's going to give them a first down on a personal foul.
Personal foul against CBC. CBC coach is asking for an explanation. Scott Pingle getting an explanation from our white hat today. That is Travis Blankenship, your referee. Chains are moved, so this will make it.
That was a huge
first down.
Huge play for Winton Woods. A couple of penalties helping this drive along, and yeah, I don't have a whole lot to argue with those. I didn't see the one there on Mike West, but you know, he was pleading his case and the official was explaining it to him.
All right, well, as it is, Michael Wingfield in the shotgun. And 1st and 10, the ball on the CBC 24. Drops back. Throws.
Oh.
Just through the hands of Blankensee. CBC claiming another hold on this near side, not getting it.
These guys on the perimeter are having a hard time with Tyler Dixon and Mike West, and one of these times they're going to get him just enough that the official's not going to be able to keep the flag in his pocket on there.
That incompletion is with 2 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
I do think these are borderline, you know, on West, the Dixon, and these potential holds. I do think they're borderline calls if they were to get called, so I don't want to, you know, but they're getting real close, and they're wearing down this Winton Woods offensive line.
Wingfield drops back. Long pass attempt. Receiver can't hang on. Good defense by Schonhorst over there.
Well, he's right there, and he's ready to make the play. The receiver tries to go up over him, and there's just a little too far to go there.
Another third down. Last 2 third downs have been picked up by way of penalty for Winton Woods.
So we got admissions director Jim Brockman in the booth here with us.
I believe it's executive director for enrollment
well,
management.
You know what? He's in charge of admissions. If you want to come visit CBC and do an official visit, give him or Melissa Ryan a call, and they'll be happy to set you up. Open house is coming up here in about a month.
Also 99 grad at CBC. That makes 3 grads up here in the booth.
Yeah, and I taught or coached both of you.
I didn't ask for that. You volunteered
I
that.
did. And
Wingfield under pressure.
Oh.
Big block. Wingfield around the right. And he's going to pick up 4. That'll bring up 4th and 6. Interesting decision now for the Warriors coaching staff. I think you have to go for it at this point.
Well,
you don't have to. You got a kicker who can drill it.
Well, you do, but you know, all of a sudden you start chasing your tail a little bit. I'm proud to have been able to coach or taught both of you guys, so don't look at it that way. I still feel a young man, even though I'm not a young man.
Sophomore geometry. What about you, Jim? Freshman football.
Freshman football.
All right, here we go. 4th and 6. Ball on the CBC 21-yard line. Wingfield takes the snap. They're going to throw it. Pressure from the left side. Tosses it up. Schonhorst goes up and bats it down.
What a play. They've tried to go back to that well one too many times.
So turnover on downs.
And here's the deal, folks. There's a lot of adversity on that drive for CBC with a couple of penalties and, you know, after some big plays. But ultimately they showed a lot of poise and character in terms of hunkering down on that 4th down play and not giving up.
You know, I was about to make that point because there's a couple ways that can go. Sometimes in a tight situation, you see one call not go, one call goes, and it's a huge swing. CBC thinks they might have a holding, which creates the 3rd or 4th and long situation. Instead, they get a free first down out of it. If Winton Woods goes right in and scores after that, you've got a potential momentum change with CBC frustrated. Instead, CBC responds in a mature way. Speaking of mature, Aiden Robinson-Wayne growing before our eyes. He's around to the right, and there's no answer for him right now. Easy first down.
Well, I just tell you, folks, a lot of teams we've played this year, he gets around the edge like that, that's a touchdown. It just shows you the speed of this Winton Woods team. They were able to track him down and force him to run out of bounds in that situation. The only team that we've played so far that's been able to slow him down on the perimeter has been DeSmet so far.
1:17 remaining in the third quarter. 1st and 10. Robinson-Wayne has an option to the left. And we've got a catch by Dylan Wardenberg, flagged down on the far side as well.
Yeah, I think they're going to get a hold on the CBC receiver out there on Brinson.
That's the way they're pointing. There's the official word. Nice catch by Wardenberg, though. It's going to be chalked off.
I think that's going to be on Chevy Brinson.
It's going to bring up 1st and a ways. 1st and 20. 42-24 your score. You're watching the Cadet Student Network. Tom Eichwald and Chris Maris bringing you this game. Randy Gardner doing production. Robinson Wayne has McAlpine in the backfield with him. Brenson, Dixon, and Hahn all in this game. Flip to the left side. It's batted down. That's a loose ball. That is a fumble.
Where'd that ball end up?
CBC finally recovers it.
Wow, that was
I think
almost
McAlpine pounced on it.
Disastrous. CBC tried to go a little speed option, something we have not seen from them so far this season, or at least that I haven't. I haven't seen every down of every game, but close. But went speed option there, and that almost proved to be a bad play for CBC.
Kenneth Hamilton, the other wide receiver out there. I was searching for him on the roster. Robinson Wayne across the middle. He's got Hahn. Big hit, but he holds on. Almost back to the original line of scrimmage. Will CBC get another playoff before the end of the third quarter? It's 3rd and about 13. 11 seconds to go in the quarter. It's going to go below 10. I'm not sure they're going to get this away. They are not.
They could have, but they chose not to for whatever reason, and that's okay. You got, you got a 18-point lead or whatever it is, and, going into the fourth quarter, don't rush something just for the sake of where you're at on the field, and, go into the fourth quarter and keep things moving.
So your third quarter summary, score at the start was 28-24 CBC, and the score at the end of the third quarter, could it be decisive, 42-24. Very different looking game now than it looked like at halftime. CBC started with the ball at their 30-yard line. First possession led to a touchdown as Robinson Wayne found Hahn for about a 15-yard reception. Then Winton Woods fumbles it. Steele puts it on the ground. It's recovered by CBC, and CBC punches it in. They make him pay with Artie McAlpine. Ran it in with 4:54 to go in the quarter. And then you had an interesting exchange as Winton Woods was driving. 3rd down. They get a pass interference call, get a first down on it. And then another personal foul against CBC, another first down. But then they turn it over on 4th down as Blair Schonhorst went up in his own end zone and batted one down. That is how we are still at 42-24 starting the fourth quarter.
When that last pass completion to Hahn, first of all, and I mean this completely in jest, I'm not really getting after him, but Aiden Robinson Wayne better be patting some of these guys in the back because he's hung some guys out in front of these safeties, and they've taken some good licks. So pat them on the back, but made this a little more manageable. Still 3rd and long, but not 3rd and 20. At least you're in striking distance.
Robinson Wayne takes the snap. Offensive line driven back, throws across the middle, still completes it to Dixon, who will be brought down after a gain of about 6. Not enough to make the conversion, but what a great sidestep that was by Robinson Wayne, number 58. Malcolm Bryant, 5'11", 315, was right in his face.
He was, and that was tough. Matt Mayer, the sophomore, he's a sophomore offensive lineman playing against men up there. He got driven back into the backfield.
6'1", 215. That is a 100-pound mismatch.
But he stayed squared up just enough to allow Aiden Robinson Wayne to peel out and find a lane to throw that ball. That's still, a good job in a mismatch.
4th and 4, Honig on to punt. Left-footed punt is a good one, end over end. It'll bounce if it hits the ground. Instead, Blankhamsey fields it. Makes one miss, makes a second miss, still going, beats about 5 guys, finally brought down at the 50-yard line. Nice return by Blankhamsey.
I got a late flag. I don't know who that's on. Usually not a good situation there.
Blankhamsey ushered off the field right away by Andrew Booker before he could get involved in something. Not sure what prompted the flag, though.
Boy, at midfield, I know you got the lead, but if this turns out, on CBC, it's a personal foul. So you might as well have gone for it. I know it's hindsight being what it is, but that's a tough situation to give up 15 yards after that good return.
Just under 11 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. CBC up 42-24, but Winton Woods has a short field. Winton Woods, 2 timeouts remaining, CBC with 3.
Old school cliche, gut check here for both teams.
Wingfield takes it, throws to his right, tipped. Oh, Schonhorst could have been number 3 in this game. He had one hit him in the shoulder pads. He went up and just missed one on the far side a few moments ago, and there's another one.
Well, what was so amazing about that one, probably the best one he's had, because he came from behind, jumped over, knocked that ball away, kept his feet, and still almost came down with that.
We're going to get a timeout taken by No, that's an official timeout.
Well, they're making Calvin Carey come off the field for some reason. I don't know if he's got blood or an equipment problem.
Coming on for him, number 72, Sam Wiebert.
Wiebert's going to go to down tackle, and C.J. Liddell's going to linebacker. And Ray Lingard has not played in this half. I don't see him on the – oh, he's down here on the sideline with his helmet off, not holding it. Something's up with Ray, which is not a good thing for CBC.
Yeah, it looked like Calvin Carey might have had a little blood on his leg. Good spot by the officials. 2nd and 10. Winton Woods at the CBC 35-yard line. Handoff underneath to Steele. He'll pick up about 3.
Nothing doing there. And
I think that was Colin Bell again in on the tackle. Wiebert got his play, and it hauls right back off.
I'm just, in awe of the way the CBC sophomores have really kind of stepped up and become men right in front of us. I mean, we knew about the juniors and the seniors, but these kids, these young kids having to step up and play key roles on the varsity to fill in holes in the depth have been huge. R.J. White out there at defensive tackle and, is another one. Sean Horst, Jeffrey Morgan, Matt Mayer on the offensive line. You just don't see that often. You see sophomores. We had it a few years ago, but those guys were huge. I mean, Mayer's not a huge kid. Just been a good thing to watch these kids grow. See whether they can hold on.
Big 4th down, 4th and 7. Wingfield takes the snap. Pressure right in his face, rolls to his right. He's trying to run it. Mike West is all over him. He's going to throw it.
That's intentional grounding. You don't get that outside the tackle box in high school.
So a grounding on Wingfield. It's 4th down. You probably decline that anyway. Either way, if they decline it, I would think it'd be CBC ball.
I don't remember whether grounding's loss of down. I should remember these things, but I don't.
I am but a humble play-by-play caller, Chris. I need you for that. But, I mean, either way, either you lose the down or you just decline it anyway.
Well, if it's loss of down, then you get the yardage on top of the play. It doesn't really matter. It's CBC's ball. It's just a matter of where the spot's going to be.
Could be the same conversation going on with the officials.
They seem to have a clear idea. Loss of down. So he put his hands behind the head. That is loss of down. So they are going to get the yardage on that and the ball.
Now, we saw in the first half that the Winton Woods offense, the instigator of everything they did was Mayan Williams. He went off with an injury in the second quarter. We have not seen him since. He apparently had a little bit of an ankle knock coming into this game, so he is out. You're also without your star safety in Myquan Grace, so a somewhat depleted star power on Winton Woods. CBC has really kind of taking it to him here at the moment.
Artie McAlpine with the carry there, maybe.
He'll pick up 1.
Yeah, because Clay was blocking and ended up spinning out over here. And I think you'll see a very decided running offense, very deliberate offense for CBC right here. I think now, if you can, there's a lot of time left in this game, but you want to try to grind, eat clock, preserve your health at this point.
2nd and 10. This is Clay around the left side. Beats the first man.
Mayer for a flag.
And he's hit out of bounds.
Yeah, they're going to call a hold. He threw it from way far away.
Good thing he had that custom filling and rubber band job that he could really fling. 9 minutes, 33 seconds remaining in this game. Going back to the point, those key injuries for Winton Woods. On the offensive side of the ball, Maya Williams was kind of the bedrock of their offense. They knew they could hand it to him. CBC knew they could hand it to him. It occupies at least 1 linebacker, often 2. So that does change the look for Winton Woods. So a little bit of an unconventional situation they are dealing with going up against a talented defense in CBC. And then on the defensive side, they're without their safety, but the CBC running game has improved here in the second half. So it's a little bit different look that you're seeing there. But make no mistake, this is still a very talented Winton Woods team. This is not beyond them so far. Heidert finds Clay.
It's
McAlpine, 26.
I think it's McAlpine. He didn't get the first down, but a nice screenplay there. Heidert under duress. As they did that, they put Zach Hahn in the backfield there and ran him out in motion to pull a guy out and got themselves a very manageable 3rd down in this situation.
It's 3rd and 2. Handoff. This time it is to Artie McAlpine again.
I think he's going to be short.
He got about halfway there. It'll be 4th and 1. 9:09 to
Yeah,
go.
looks like CBC's going to hop up and go for it.
Offense is still out there. Clock will be below 9 minutes when they snap this ball. 4th and 1, handoff to McAlpine around the
Got it
left.
this
He's
time.
through. McAlpine picks up a big first down for the Cadets.
Well, I think after that last punt, even though the punt was fine, but you had one blocked, you had one returned, and then you had a penalty on that, and your defense has been playing so well. I think you showed a lot of faith in your defense to go for it right there. Even if you don't get it, you felt good that where you were in the fourth quarter and the score to go for it right there, even if you don't get it.
Patrick Heidert's still out there. He's got Clay to his left, McAlpine to his right. 2 wide receivers right. It's Hahn and Dixon, and Brenson is out wide left. Handoff to Clay, right side. Trying to get the corner, and he gets hit pretty hard. Flag comes in. Comes Jordan Clay. No gain. Might have been a slight loss.
I think we're going to get a hold. Yep.
So 1 yard loss on the run, but it's going to be backed up 10 for the hold.
So one of the things that's going on here is CBC is just not able to get good bites on these good defenders for Winton Woods, and they're stringing this outside perimeter running attack. I would suggest coming back with something inside, a counter play or something, in order to get them leaning and hit them quick. But with the first down, they might be looking to throw the ball here.
Heidert's in the shotgun, hands it off underneath to McAlpine. And McAlpine goes nowhere. 2nd and 20. I don't say 22.
I don't have a problem with that play. At this point in time, you're playing against the clock as well, and you got a 40-second clock to work with once the play starts, and you can eat that down with the clock running, force them to burn their timeouts if they want to get the ball back.
You're watching the Cadet Student Network. Tom Eichwald and Chris Maris, Randy Gardner doing production. This is a student-led broadcasting initiative. They do all the planning. They're doing all the camera work. They do such a great job with this. So I want to thank all of the students who've made this broadcast possible. Heidert rolls out to his left, just a little too far ahead of Tyler Dixon.
Just a little too far. He might have had Chevy Brinson right here for a short gain. And, in that situation on second down, you don't have to feel like you have to get it all in one play. I know Dixon necessarily wasn't going to do it. It was a much longer, higher-risk throw. Maybe if Brinson's open, you get that. You get 7 or 8 of it back. Maybe he breaks a tackle and you get a little bit more. I saw Coach Pingle talking to him on the sideline about his choice or something.
3rd and very, very long. Heidert. He'll keep it. Hold on to the ball. There it is. He's down. Minimal gain. And we got a late flag. That may go against Winton Woods. Something happened in the general area of Matt Mayer. He was backing away from something, so we'll see if this goes. It does go against Winton Woods. So a personal foul. And that'll be 15 yards.
I can tell you, you're not 6'1" and 220 and play center and mix it up with those guys if you're not a tenacious guy. And Matt's a very tenacious guy. It's a big play there for CBC. So I don't know if they get a automatic first down on that one. I think it's 4th down, but now you're in a situation, okay.
Yeah, those 15 yards are the difference between probably kicking it away and
punting it and
deep.
going for it.
Offense is still out. Nope, they're going to bring on the punt team.
Ooh, different punter. I got
Charlton
Tyler Charlton.
Honig.
Now here, let's point something out here, folks. Charlton is the starting JV quarterback, so.
High snap. He's going to kick it with the left. It's a decent punt. And it will bounce out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Good punt by Charlton.
Now, I only pointed that out. They had gone with Honig all game, but Charlton was one of the guys who was in the mix to be the starting punter but going into the season. But as the JV quarterback, after going with the other guy all game, I thought, maybe there's a little razzle-dazzle.
Trying to sneak one in there.
And But ultimately, Charlton, nice job. His older brother, Blake, was the punter and quarterback for a 2014 state championship team and a 2015 team that went to the state finals and lost a heartbreaker.
Also a heck of a pitcher.
He was a very good pitcher. Went to Mizzou, played baseball before injuries ended his career in playing baseball. But great family between the three brothers that have come through CBC.
Blake, Dylan, and Tyler, I believe.
Yes, sir. Taught all three of them. Well, I haven't taught Tyler yet, but I imagine I'll get him.
Quick screen pass. This is Steele. He's got the first down, still going. He'll be brought down at the 34. It'll be 1st and 10 with 6:35 to go.
Well,
now, if Winton Woods can put a quick one up here, could be an interesting finish. They still have 2 timeouts remaining. It's asking a lot, 28 points, but you got a pretty talented team out there. And I think if you're CBC, you absolutely have to assume they're capable of it. 4 wide spread. Steele in the backfield alongside Wingfield. Hands it off underneath. Steele gains 1. They give him 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Winton Woods has not gone into panic mode yet in terms of what they want to do with the ball. They're still hopeful they can pop one here with the running back.
It's going to be discipline from these CBC safeties to stay deep, not bite on these runs because they know they're probably going to have to take a shot at some point. Blankumsey hauls it in. He's running backwards, gets around the edge. Nice tackle coming in by, trying to see the number there.
Sean Orrs came in late. Yeah, I think Sean Orrs came in late on that. But that play was made up by we got in on him quickly, forced him to change his direction to a place he didn't want to go, and then ultimately CBC rallied to the ball and didn't give him any place else to go.
5 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in this game. Clock is running. Wingfield takes. Looks quickly, pump fake, pulls it down. He's got the first down, still going. Wingfield moving to his left, shakes another tackle. Still Wingfield. Blocked downfield by Blankumsey. He cuts back infield, still running. Runs into one of his own players. And he's finally hauled down at the CBC 32.
Great play there for Winton Woods. Kind of keeps them alive in this game. One of the CBC defenders got through free, and he left his feet thinking he was going to be knocking a pass down, and ultimately quarterback pulled the ball down, ran right up underneath him, and then he was off to the races, dancing his way through the secondary.
Wingfield, Steele alongside. 2 wide receivers in the slot right side, 1 wide on either side. They're going to go far side. That is Bryant Johnson Jr. He's going to pick up about 6, 2nd and short.
Quick hitch there.
Got to start finding those guys on the sideline.
Well, that and get out of bounds and try to preserve some of the clock. So the clock, along with the scoreboard, are the enemies to Winton Woods in this situation. They need to find a way to preserve as much of the clock as they can and get in the end zone as quick as they can.
And we've got flags and a few too many moving parts.
I think
before
they
the
had
snap.
a false start there, so they're going to end up losing almost everything they got on that last play, all but a yard of it.
And that'll be 2nd down and 9. Clock at 4:35 to go. Hope you've enjoyed our broadcast. We have certainly enjoyed bringing it to you on a wonderful fall afternoon. A little warm, but there's a breeze out there. We just can't feel it in the press box. Wingfield hands off underneath. Steele picks up a few. He's brought down. Nice tackle by Calvin Carey. That's going to bring up 3rd and we'll say 4.5.
Yep. Colin Bell in for Tyler Gant. You're seeing Tyler get more and more playing time as the season goes on. Freshman defensive tackle.
Clock now below 4 minutes. 2 wide receivers either side. Steele alongside Wingfield in the backfield. Wingfield, plenty of time. Good blocking. He fires. He hits Johnson Jr., who's down to the 15-yard line. We got a flag in the backfield.
Penalty here. We're going to get a hold. All right, you're going to get a hold on Winton Woods. Well, Here's what I'll say. I saw a few of those earlier, or at least some borderline ones, and then they finally got rung up on one here, but that looked like it was on the interior of the line, not on the exterior.
That occurs with 3:42 remaining in the game. And these penalties, have been costly for Winton Woods because it's cost them yards, but most importantly, it has cost them time. The game is still scoreless here in the fourth quarter. It was 42-24 coming in, and that's where we still stand. Jordan Marshall showing a safety blitz. They back off. Wingfield fires across the middle. That is caught by Johnson Jr. Nice catch, and that gets him all the way down to the 17, 1st and 10.
Found the soft spot in that middle zone there and got inside the safety. Nice completion there.
Clock at 3.5. Winton Woods set quickly. Wingfield looks to his right, nothing there. He's rolling. He's going deep. Couldn't find Clifton. Ball is thrown out of bounds. Good decision by Wingfield, though, because he puts it, maybe Clifton goes up and makes a world-beating catch, or maybe it goes out, but it's not going to be picked off. It's not going to be batted down. So 3:19, they get a little bit of a break as the clock stops. 2nd down. Wingfield takes a snap, drops back. He's going to fire to his left-hand side. He's got Johnson Jr., who will pick up the 1st down and get it all the way down to the 5-yard line. Now, possible scenarios. That clock does not stop. They are going to stop it to move the chains. I was about to say it's supposed to stop
until that box sets, though, that should start.
So 3:02 we're running. You get a quick score here. Might as well try the onside kick, see what happens.
Well, they're down three possessions, so they've got to go. They definitely have to do that.
Threw it across.
Oh.
Johnson Jr. Did he hold on to that?
Yes, he did.
What a catch by Bryant Johnson Jr.
I know. I'm looking over there. I think Cam Powell. I think it was Cam Powell. I think he thought he should have had a pick on that one. Thought he stepped right in front of it, went right through him.
So that is number 12, Bryant Johnson Jr., who hauls it in. Impressive grab. He fights off the contact from Powell. 2:45 to go. Velasquez on to try to make it 31-42. Be an 11-point game if this goes through the uprights.
Ooh, R.J. White got through there and almost got a piece of that. He's upset that he got held because looked like he got pulled down, but nonetheless, 11-point game scenarios. They're
touchdown, go for 2, a field goal ties it up.
Yep, that's what they're looking at right here. You got to give yourself a situation. Once you score, you got to play that 2-point conversion out situation at the end, not early.
You also, you'd think, have to recover 2 onside kicks.
You would with 2:45 and 2 timeouts. You could burn you might only need 1 if you think you can hold CBC, but you're going to pretty much have to get them out quickly, probably burning your timeouts to do it, and then you're going to have to strike quickly. But we've seen it's high school football, folks. Crazy things happen. I got to believe they're going to go onside kick right here.
Special teams coach Kevin Wayne are waving everybody forward to the 50-yard line.
And if you look at the personnel out there for CBC, it's much different than you would typically see on a regular.
They don't even have anybody back.
Well, sort of. Who is that? I don't even know who this is back here deep. I can't see. I'm looking at the side.
That is Jeffrey Morgan.
Okay, so.
He's the deepest man, and he's standing at his own 30. Last-minute huddle for Winton Woods. And an extra man onto the field.
Yeah, looks like they were short. Yeah, they were short 1.
Here we go. Onside kick attempt by Winton Woods. It's low. CBC has a hard time hanging on.
89.
That is Johnny Honig. It hit his leg.
It died when it hit his leg, and then he snagged it up. That was dangerous. Usually when it's hit at you that hard, you get the heck out of the way and let the guy behind you get it. but he may not have had a chance. It was on him in a hurry.
Nice
Nonetheless,
kick
CBC
by
ball.
Velasquez, though.
Yeah.
All right, CBC takes over with 2 minutes and 43 to go. They got a 1st and 10 on their 46. CBC has 3 timeouts left. They won't be in a hurry to burn them. Winton Woods has 2 remaining. They might have to get a stop here. For CBC, first down here could be critical. Clay brought down at the line of scrimmage.
And they burned the timeout really quickly.
Yep.
So
first of the 2 remaining timeouts called by Winton Woods. They're down to 1. As CBC will have 2nd and 10. Thoughts on this Winton Woods team? I know we got a lot of fans in Ohio. You know, Cincinnati sending their team down here. Thoughts on what you've seen from them?
a very, very talented team. They've made some mistakes. They've had some injuries that have ultimately cost them in this game. This very easily could have gone another direction had those things not happened. CBC's been very fortunate in terms of and created some of their own fortune. I don't want to sell what CBC's done short, but I know there was a lot of respect coming into this game, and I think they still have CBC's respect going forward. Very, very talented team, well coached. Played a hard game, and I think they'd like to have a handful of plays back, and we'd be staring at a little bit closer game right down to the end.
Well, you also have to consider it's smaller school. Winton Woods, a school of only 800, but it's co-ed, so a really impressive program they've got. Aiden Robinson-Wayne around the left, picks up the first down, holds on to the football, both important. And then are they going to burn their final timeout?
Short.
No. They mark him just short. The clock is stopping while they're figuring out if it's a first down or not. Winton Woods still has 1 timeout remaining. Official timeout.
They might measure. Looks like they're going to measure. When's the last time we saw a measurement?
It's been a while.
I mean, especially on a turf field.
It has been quite some time.
It's not as necessary, folks. Best chain crew in the MCC and maybe St. Louis right there. Those guys get their workout playing in our up-tempo offense, running around like mad. Looks like we got the first down. If
that is awful close.
Wow,
they're going to give it
to
him. 2 grains of leather. Actually, it's so close. Winton Woods is arguing it. I mean, it's a grain or 2 of leather away from being another stop, and then you try to get a stop, force a punt, something like that, or turnover on downs.
Well, you're going to see CBC.
That's a big inch.
Yeah, it is. You're going to see CBC run the ball here. Winton Woods more than likely burn their last time out. And then they're going to need to hold CBC and hope. But with the 40-second clock, that plays a huge role in CBC being able to get out of here without anything else happening.
Once that second timeout is burned, you'd have to figure a first down wins the game for CBC.
Yes.
So you don't have to figure. I think the mathematics are there. I don't know what the coach's magic numbers are for all those scenarios, but
well, they're running the clock down right now on the.
Robinson-Wayne hands it off to Jordan Clay.
Just hold on to the ball.
He'll pick up 2. And there is the last timeout for Winton Woods.
No, they haven't.
No, they haven't.
Yet.
That was
the end of the play.
Late whistle.
Winton Woods.
So I stand corrected. No timeout taken.
Well, and folks, we've seen this with Coach Pingle in the past and stuff. Sometimes, you get in a situation like this. Winton Woods might have viewed that as their last opportunity to really get anything stopped, and they may just decide, okay, it's time to learn from this and go forward and get ready for what we've got left in Ohio, and just get out of here with our health, with what we've got left.
No short of challenges coming up for Winton Woods. Stuff to take on LaSalle, Cincinnati, or one of our brother schools. It's a LaSallian institution. Also a power in the area. You got them. You got St. X, St. Xavier in the area. Just so much football talent in that Cincinnati area. So it doesn't get any easier for
No, they burned their time out there. Well, in this situation, you get a 25. So the clock won't start. I'm trying to figure this all out. Trying to do the math in my head.
He's being heckled while he does the math by Rocky Streb, our athletic director.
You know, good thing I can't hear the motorcycle riding athletic director. Ran into one of his old buddies today. So one of the dads of my who my son plays baseball with knows Rocky from a previous life.
1 minute and 3 seconds on the clock. Winton Woods has taken their last timeout.
This is my gratuitous shout out to my family that was supposed to be here tonight, but my 8-year-old Sawyer, who had a sleepover last night, decided to crash out on the couch after that, and they didn't make it out here. So I got to figure out what I'm doing after the game. Sawyer and Baker at home, Mason out of Lindenwood. Got to get him a car for some things he's got going on. So family evening in front of me.
Handoff to Clay. Right side, he's wrapped up in the backfield. That'll bring up 4th and 9. If you're CBC, you got to imagine you just punt this away.
Well, they've got to punt it away with about 10 seconds left. CBC's got all their timeouts to burn, and they might even eat one on a penalty and get backed up. I just, short of a blocked punt return for a touchdown, an onside kick recovered, and then something miraculous there. We're just really looking at too much for Winton Woods to overcome at this point.
Coach Pingle is on the field next to an official, so
he's
going to burn a timeout.
Yeah, he's going to burn a timeout here.
There it is. So timeout taken by CBC with 13.7 to go, as they will punt one away. Not quite official yet, but 42-31 is your score. It was 28-24 at halftime, and an offensive explosion by CBC, partnered with a timely fumble by Steele. It was Imani Steele of Winton Woods, off of which CBC profited a touchdown from Artie McAlpine. Third quarter ended 42-24. Only touchdown here in this fourth quarter has gone Winton Woods' way. It was Brent Johnson Jr., a touchdown pass reception from Wingfield. And that's how we got to 42-31.
CBC's third quarter play right out of halftime. I mean, even against the game against DeSmet, they won that one quarter 7-0, and they played their best football in that quarter. Coach Pingle does something in the fourth quarter at halftime to get these guys ready.
Tyler Charlton on the punt again. He's going to kick it out of bounds. That eliminates the return. So Winton Woods, timeoutless, will take over with 8.9 to go.
That's a great play right there by Tyler. Just to kick that, it eats up that much more clock. They can't return the ball. Nothing crazy happens. It's darn near impossible for Winton Woods to, get 2 scores in 8.9 seconds. You see CBC putting their defensive backs, back here to about the 30-yard line on the opposite side of the ball here, and just playing everybody deep. They're going to have 5 up in the box rushing. Got their outside linebackers playing way back, and their corners and safeties playing way back.
Yeah, this ball's on the 26-yard line. CBC's outside linebackers are at the 45, and their safeties are at their own 30-yard line.
And it looks like Winton Woods is going to kneel on the ball.
There it is. Winton Woods takes a knee, and although they put in a great effort, CBC victorious, 42-31. Congratulations to the Cadets knocking off the Warriors visiting from Ohio. And in the end, CBC weathered some difficult stretches in this game. Very impressive first half, especially from Winton Woods. They got off to a fast start. We saw all the talent they had. Williams was running all over the CBC defense for a little bit there. He goes out of the game. Myquan Grace goes out of the game at safety. If you're Winton Woods, you hate to come all the way to St. Louis to play a team you're excited to play and then be without 2 of your stars for the second half, in which CBC runs away with it. But for CBC, great execution on both sides of the ball in that third quarter was the difference.
Well, it really was. I mean, they came out of halftime. Coach Pingle and Coach Dimovitz made some adjustments. You saw CBC play great defense in the second half after giving up 24 points in the first half to hold this explosive team to only 7 in the second half, even without their big running back. I think is a heck of an accomplishment for this young and emerging defense as they get ready to go into the home stretch of their home stretch of their season with Vianney, Rockhurst, and Belleville West left in their home season, or left on the regular season before the playoffs.
So with the win today, the Cadets advance to 5-1. The Warriors fall to 4-2. But both of these teams, really the regular season only matters so much. These are two teams, two programs built around the postseason. So we wish Winton Woods well as they continue their regular season, prepare for Ohio playoffs. And the CBC Cadets are maturing week by week as this young team turns back into the juggernaut that everybody knows CBC is capable of being. Any closing thoughts for us before we go off air today, Chris?
No, I mean, really just impressed with the growth that I've seen over CBC over the course of the season. From a team against O'Fallon and Edwardsville and early on against Chaminade that struggled to stop the run. They took their licks against the Smet, came back, hard-fought game last week against SLU, seemed to kind of find their footing, and then ultimately to get this next test, this will be a huge boost for their confidence going forward as they go into the stretch run of the season. And I know everybody's got their mind's eye pointed on a rematch with the Smet, but it really doesn't matter. That matchup doesn't come to fruition if CBC doesn't hold par and do what they need to do going forward. And not just from winning games point of view, but from a development point of view and their ability to continue to stop the run in this game. Yes, Williams got his yards in the first half, but CBC did what they needed to do defensively to win this game, and that was great.
That's going to do it for our broadcast. I want to say one more thanks to all the students who made this broadcast possible. We had Charlie Bryan, Timmy Fitzpatrick, Braden Paulus, all around making this broadcast possible. For Randy Gardner, our producer, for Chris Maris, our analyst, my name is Tom Eichwald. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.